Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Legends and Statements and Stars, honey. Yes, welcome back. I have some things we may get around to, we may not. It just depends on the flow of the show. But, we're definitely trying to, there's so much to update you on. I'm trying to figure out where I want to begin. Let me get through my hello and welcome, honey. Honey bunny child. Hola. Hello. How is everybody? The legend. I see the legends in the house. Hello, my brother is in the house. I love you down. Okay, let's see. I hope your week has been well. It has, by the grace of Allah. Hello. I'm on lunch break. Yes, girl, you better get that lunch break in. I know all about it now. It's crazy though. Get to it. Let me try to hit all these comments. The Legend of Mother Bianca's in the house. Welcome. Enjoy that lunch break. Eid Mubarak. What's up? You dig? I'm working on it. And listen, it's only going to get better, but I'm working this job. So I got to do one thing at a time. This last pay cycle, I had to take care of so many things. I had to replace my dryer, get the dryer removed, get my car up and running, get a new phone. These are like all things that aren't even about the bills per se. These were just things that I had to get done. You know what I'm saying? You said, am I off Wednesdays? Honestly, I don't know. They were telling me like, oh, because honestly, I don't be paying attention like that. I just go onto my schedule to see when I'm off, and then I know. But it may be I just wasn't paying attention. It may be that I have the same days off. Someone was asking, oh, so you get these Tuesday and this. I'm like, I feel like I had a Friday off. I feel like I had a Sunday off. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm okay with a lot. I need to contact this other job and let them know. I don't think I'm going to go because it just makes no sense. I just got this job. And yesterday we got paid. And what's crazy is that first check that I got, I was even cool with that. Like it was less than what I thought, but I was like, you know what, Allah, still, if I can make this check twice in a month, it'll still boost the home economy, like the economy of my home. So I was like, I'm not going to complain. But then I had to remember, I'm like, because on the second check and I looked, I'm like, it was like twice the amount of that first one. And I'm like, and my ex was telling me, he was like, that's because when you came, you hadn't been working that long. Like you jumped into their pay cycle, but it didn't really account for, hey, Artisan. Hey, Slender. And I'm glad you think this is cute. I'm working on, like I said, I'm working on it. But this check was definitely better. And then I thought to myself, I'm making, especially I'm making this kind of money. I'm making the kind of money I want. Now I'm in rotation. Because if I started working at this other location, I'd have to start back from the beginning again, which means that first check would be smaller again. I'm like, no, now I'm in rotation. This job, it's not going to get no better. Like, it's closer to home. I'm getting the hours that I'm wanting for the time frame that I'm wanting. Because when I first thought about it, I'm like, ooh, 5 a.m. I got to be to work, which means I got to be up by 4. But in all honesty, I prefer that. Now that I've done it, Allah knew best because I don't think I would have chose that for myself just off the top. But now that I'm doing it, I'm like, ooh. And for the people that I'm working with, like I say, there's some people that are annoying. One of the like one of the managers who hired me when I first met her, she was really nice. Like, oh, I really love your personality. Do 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 do. She was very like upbeat. But what I'm coming to find out is she be kind of wishy washy. That's fine. Even that is okay with me, honestly. I don't need her to be my friend. She did enough. She gave me the job. That's how I feel. I'm like, she don't want to be my friend. She don't have to be my friend. I'm not actually here for friendship. If that happens, okay. He said, how are you dealing with coworkers you don't like or care for? Because I ignore bitches like they don't exist. That's pretty much my way of handling it too. I mean, it's not even handling them like they don't exist. For me, they don't exist. It's just another human in this space that I'm working. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but it's like I see them, I don't see them. It's no skin off my back, and I'm not gonna make it a problem for myself. I got enough things I'm dealing with. Okay, a coworker, bitch, I'm grown. You don't like me, you don't like me. You went the first. Chances are you're not gonna be the last. Don't matter. Hakuna Matata, bitch. That's how I'm feeling. That's where I'm at. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So with this manager, for example, one time she tried to get me about something, and I was just like, okay, is there anything else you would like to correct me on? And she was like, oh, well, I haven't, because I was telling her, well, I'd like for you to look up this other item and see if that item is there. Because really, can't you can't have it both ways. You can't say you want our time, you want us to be quick, you want our time to be up. When I came there, they were like, okay, look up, look down, look left and right. And then if you can't find the item, skip it. Most of the time the item is where it's supposed to be, but there are those times where it don't be. And then in addition to that, even if the item was in its place, with this pressure that you put all the I don't honey, I'm not putting no pressure on myself. I move fast just by in general, but you can't you want us to move quicker is gonna make us mess it up. So I was like, okay, can you check this other item to see if it's there? She didn't want to pull it up. I'm like, okay, that's fine with me because you see the point I'm trying to make. So you're addressing this one item, but there's like 5 items that I had to skip. So let's go down the list and see if the items that you're calling for are really there. And she told me, well, I haven't got to those items yet, but when I do, I'll let you know. I'm like, okay. I gave her a thumbs up. I'm like, cool. Then I turned around. I went to because I'm grown. I'm not gonna go back and forth with this woman. Because another thing I discern from her, she has other issues internally. As far as insecurities, and I know these people, I know that personality type, and it's cool with me. I'm not even tripping. I'm gonna be real with you. It's not even, I wouldn't even call it a work drama because it's not drama coming from my end. Although there was this one girl, like I said, she dropped my order trying to rush me out the way. And when she did that, I'm like, okay, yeah, you about to get me another one? Because I just took the time to gather up all these people groceries. And since you were in such a hurry to get to where you was going, it's your mess to clean up. And you also need to bring me back a water, like a case of water, because I'm not about to clean up, but I'm not about to rush out to get another one. And she did. She had a little attitude about it, but that's what I'm saying. I don't care about that. I'm in a different place in my life. Like she could do it with an attitude if she wants to, but she did it. So that's it. I don't really care about the rest. Like she went and did it. But no, overall though, I'm talking about okay, I would say in total there's 3 people. Come to find out that girl I was just talking about, she 19. So that's already telling me I'm not about to please. She 19. I don't care. Now when she did that, she did need to rectify the situation. But in general, I see her, I just push right past her. I don't need a good morning. It's not going to affect me if I don't get it. I don't even know you. When I'm not clocked in here, I don't even, and to be honest, I don't even know your name. So, you get what I'm saying? Like to be upset over someone you don't even know their name and you get paid to be there. Like, I'm like, focus on what's important, which is getting to this money, girl. That's all the rest of this other stuff is for, as they say, the birds. More specific, the vultures, sweetheart. They like to pick over what's dead. Beating dead horses into the ground, not for me. I'm in a whole other place. Y'all can have that, and I'm gonna continue on. And when I focus on what I'm doing, the time be flying. The time be flying. So even with that, I still feel like this is a good job, and I still feel like overall I would take it. Like I feel good about it. I'm not tripping on. And to be honest, no matter where I would go, that would exist. So ain't no point in I'm leaving. People, girl, please, this bitch can leave if she wants to, but I ain't going no place until I'm good and ready to. Like, either I definitely have something better lined up or whatever, but no. But I was happy with my check. That's the first time I was telling my ex, I'm like, in all the times that I've worked retail, this is the first time that I ever got a check that looked like this. I'm like, is it because I'm working full time? I'm like, I don't know, but no complaints from me, honey. I was happy. I was like, because somebody else was telling me, oh, I had to go to such and such a manager to complain about my check and they had to fix my hours. And at that point, our check had not hit yet. So I'm like, oh God, I hope my check not looking funny. Like because if it is, then I'm gonna have to address it, but I'm hoping not. But when it came through and it was like way past what I thought it was gonna be, because I was thinking it was gonna be like that first check. Like, okay, not the worst. It'll let me pay some bills. But with this, I'm like, no. Because the way I'm looking at it in my mind is me getting this check is essentially like me having 4 tenants. Not all at once. I'm talking about like with the 2 that I have, plus the 2 checks I get from them. It's like I look at those checks as 2 tenants because it's about the same amount. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, okay, so I'm about to be really doing good. I just got to be patient and hold on to my money. Like, spend it, but not go crazy. Because I'm like, no, because before the top of next month, I'm gonna get one more paycheck before I end up getting my money from my mom, from my tenants, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, that means at the end of the month, it's just gonna be a rush of just so I can really take care of things like all the bills. I'm like, and if I hold on to this money, I can apply. Like I'll hold on to, because I already got myself again. Like when I see little things, I'm like, especially at my job, I'm like, girl, these prices are good. I saw me a cute little outfit, and I was like, I'm gonna get this because it don't cost that much. The shirt was like 16, the pants were like 13. I'm like, it's affordable and it's fucking cute, and no one's gonna know this price when they see me wearing it because it looks like it costs more than what it is. But with my treat myself, I said, okay, now you did that. Oh, and I ordered me a Subway sandwich. I said, now that's your treat. Let hold on to the rest of the money. Then come next month, you'll have this money plus the other check plus all these other different checks. So just do that. I need to roll me another blunt because this one. And then I'm like, I'm like, I need to start thinking what I want to do with all this money, because I know you said, yeah, utilize that employee discount. I don't get my employee discount till 90 days. So I still got like 2 more months before I get that. Hold on, let me let's see. Got the matches. Although I think I got some over there. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm like, girl, I'm about to I have a like things I'm trying to get done with my life. I'm not trying to sit up here and create issues for myself. I really don't have no problems. At work. It's definitely better than any retail job I ever had, like PetSmart or Publix or Old Navy. It's the most money I ever made in this type of job. I'm like, girl, please. What I look like? Oh my God, I'm beefing. I don't like this girl. Girl, please, you are not that important. But you're 19, so you don't know that yet. Like, you still thinking that somebody cares about your attitude and your mood swings. Girl, I just pay you dust. I don't give a damn what the reason is, ho. I'm gonna just be frank. Don't care. Oh, you got a bad attitude today? Cool. And even when she looked like she got a good attitude, I still don't speak to her. Just because I don't have time for back and forth. Like, she was cool Tuesday, she was off Wednesday. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need it. I'm like, girl, you're not cutting my checks. You are in no position. So I don't care what you think. You're not setting the schedule. You ain't nobody to me. So I pay her. Sure do. And I think I told y'all, this homeless man, I had to get his ass together again in the bathroom. But I'm saying on this third time, if it ever comes down to that, I may end up having to beat his ass. Now that is a problem. I told my manager about him. I'm like, y'all might want to do something about him because he be in the bathroom. At first, I was gonna let him live because he would be in there trying to clean himself up, washing his face, doing all this other stuff. He still be looking dirty as hell, but it don't matter about that. It's just that he's You know what I'm saying? But that's because his spirit is nasty. So that's why I'm like, you got a dirty ass spirit, bitch. That's why you come up looking muddy after you done put soap to the situation. But girl, fuck him. I don't give a fuck because he got a nasty ass smell. Fuck him. Homeless or not. Because if he were not homeless, I would still be reading this bitch down for Phil. Coming here with this one big ass dreadlock. You're mad about it because bitch, you wish. I'm like, girl, no, I don't care. And if it's mental illness, he needs to go and get help. But he don't get to just, oh, it's mental illness, so people just about to come out here. Because he made it like he was what, about to jump on me. I'm like, girl, I will wear you out in this bathroom. You don't know that. I told him, I told him, I said, listen, because he was what did he say? He said something to the effect of, what's up? Yeah, what you want to do? And I'm like, I told him flat, I'm like, sir, I'm gonna tell you real clear and real plain, this ain't what you want. Cause you thinking that I'm gonna be one of those other people who be like, oh, he's just not well. And typically that would be the case when you're not a nuisance. Like I wouldn't just be like, oh, he homeless, he on the street, he caused a problem. No. But when you come in here and you making threats to me, bitch, girl, I will beat your ass. And I will spare no expense because I will go upside your head with this printer and this TC, crack your skull, and guess what? They give us permission to do that. They really do. And when I first got there, you have to take all these classes and go through the thing. They say someone come in there and they're threatening you and they're attacking you. You have a right. In the video, they had someone taking a keyboard thing and hitting a nigga in the head. They was like, you gotta do what you gotta do, honey. And I'm like, yeah, so you know what we are. Cause I'm like, nah. So keeping that in mind, I'm like, I will whoop your ass. Especially me knowing like you coming at me for no reason. You trying to, and what you think you about to put in, I'm just about to sit here, he homeless. I don't give a fuck what the nigga is. Touch me if you want to, and we gonna see how it's gonna go. I will wear you out in this bathroom, baby. You just don't know. And when I came to him like that, that's when he was like, he rolled his eyes. He went to the stall. He be mumbling under his breath. I'm like, mm-hmm. And one time he was mumbling too loud. I said, silence. I don't want to hear that mess. Quiet. And he zipped it right on up. So for however mental he might act like he is, he got enough common sense that when I told him Silencia, bitch, he zipped it up like a Ziploc. It was airtight. Yeah. Okay. Because I'm not gonna play with you. And I said, and you keep playing, I'm about to get security and cut this Hollywood shower a little bit short. I don't give a fuck. No. Now something like that, you can't ignore him. This other little bitch, I can ignore her. But him in the bathroom talking to me crazy, I'm like, Negron, don't make me. Don't do that to yourself. Because now you're gonna be thinking, oh my God. Normally when I do this stunt and I be acting crazy, people back away from me. That's normally, not today. So that's the only real issue I really ever had. And so far as like where it got like intense, because the second time there was a coworker in the bathroom when that happened. The first time I straightened him out, it was just he and I in the bathroom. That second time, I know homeboy like, because I was just because I looked at him and I didn't get crazy. I just told him real plain, like, believe me when I tell you this ain't the problem that you want to create for yourself. Because it will be a problem that you created for yourself and it'll be your problem because I will beat your ass. Period. I haven't gotten into a situation in a while, and that person is just in the background waiting for some stupid shit to happen. So please don't encourage it. So now sometimes I see him walking through the store, he sees me, he look another way, great, perfect. Because we don't have to. Because how it started was before any of the bathroom incidents, I would see him just walking, and then at first I thought he was just grungy and dirty, but you could still have money. So I was like, and even if I didn't know he was homeless, I would still speak to him. But especially since I'm at work and you coming up in here. But the first time I spoke to him, hey, how you doing? He looked at me, he rolled his eyes, and he kept walking. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll remember that. Like, not remember it like in a vindictive way, like, oh, I'll remember that. Because you ain't pay back. You can't pay. It's not about that. But it was about, so now you remember his face. When you see him again, pay him dust. You don't owe him nothing. You gave him kindness. There's something wrong with him. Pay him. That type of thing. But I'll remember that. But when I saw him in the bathroom and I remembered he was that same guy, and he came, I'm like, okay. You thought, because when you saw me and I was, how are you? And you saw me in the hallway when I was speaking to you out on the floor, you saw me there and you didn't understand that I'm still a human being and I'll fuck you up. I don't give a damn. You're not about to disrupt my peace or think you about to what? Lunge at me, do something to me? Because when he did that and I was locking eyes with him, I'm like, yeah. So how you want to roll it? Because now you got my attention and I'm not going to, until you show me that you are, then I'm not going to go back to what I was doing. I'm going to wait for you because I'm not going to turn my head and then this nigga come at me with a fucking pot or some stupid shit. Like, no, fuck this bitch. No, I don't give a fuck. But that's really, like I said, of everything with the job, that's really the only thing I can say. Because honestly, I told you about that one manager, but there's like 3 managers up there. And even the manager that runs the entire store, who I didn't know she was the one who ran this. But then when I looked at the thing on the wall, I'm like, oh, that is her. But she ended up giving me the good Wi-Fi because I was like, ma'am, I'm trying to get home, and this Wi-Fi that y'all have for the store is not cutting the mustard. I said, and I can't get home. Uber will not let me order an Uber without a proper internet connection, honey. So, and she was like, oh, do this internet. I'm like, oh, that's a different thing. She was like, and then punch in. So now I have the good internet. I didn't realize that all the coworkers were on the fucked up one. I'm like, well, the same way how I went to her, y'all be acting too scared. To be fair, I didn't know she was a store manager, but even if I did, I would still have questioned her. She ain't someone that, oh, she's a store manager, I don't want to ask her. So she is a little bit, I'm not even gonna say she cold. I just think she's probably about her business. And I'm okay with that. So she gave me my answer about the internet and I let her go on about her day. But like I said, okay, there's her. She's like the overall store manager. I'm talking about the ones that are in my department. Other than that one sister, everybody else I actually really like. They be the white lady, they people have mixed reviews about her, but she's nice to me. She don't give me no problems. So I'm not saying it's not true because I can see how she could be fake, but even if she was 100% fake, it still wouldn't matter to me. I'm just in a different place in my head. I'm like, I don't care about that right now. Oh, she fake, great. She cutting us real checks or fake checks. Don't care about all that then. Because I'm like, I got shit I'm trying to get done. I'm about to sit up here and get into no politics and hop into the mud with you. But yeah, I enjoyed my one manager, you know what I'm saying, and my coworkers. I'm like, I wasn't planning on coming here liking y'all, but like I said, that older woman, Miss Marie Calendars, and her daughter, who was in the Air Force, her daughter is the sweetest thing. I'm always gassing them up, and I be meaning it. So I'm like, your mom is incredible, and she did a great job with you. She has a beautiful family. I've seen her. She showed me. She's just one of those spirits that is so rare. I'm like, she is genuinely this sweet. You can see it through her face, through her energy, through her movements. When I saw the picture of her family, I'm like, oh my God, y'all are such a beautiful family. I'm like, and you deserve it because you're so kind and so sweet and you're a good woman and you deserve to feel protected and all the things. And she was like, oh, well, my husband is fine too. I'm like, I don't give a damn if he's fine. Fine, no fine. A good man, a good woman is hard to find. So he could be fine all he wants to and still have a shit ass woman on his arm. But he got you. He got a good woman who's so kind. I just know you great with the kids. One time she was telling me, I just want our kids to be like happy and whatever that means. She told me something. She was like, we had one friend we had to cut off because he said some weird shit. I was like, what did he say? She said, well, we were saying we would be okay with our kids, just whatever. If they end up being lesbian or gay, then that's cool. If that's their choice, like that's where they're going with it. We had this one friend where he had this daughter and he was like, I hope she's a lesbian. I was like, oh, that's new. What, he hopes she's a lesbian? Why? Not that that's wrong, but just curious why he would say that. She said he wants her to be a lesbian because he don't want to imagine her being penetrated. I just think that's weird to be thinking about your kid anyway. Honestly, like I'm not thinking about a vagina or a penis invading my child's space. Other than if it's something like inappropriate going on, now we got to address it. Like what's happening here? But just as far as life choices, like living and being out in the world as a human being, why would you do that to yourself? It just seems like a weird thing to think. But he may not be the only one. Because once she said it, I started thinking, oh, that's a different thing, a way to think. Then I started thinking, are there other people who think like that? Because that, as strange as that may seem to me, I'm certain there are other people who think like that. Men in particular, like that are like, I don't want a man to touch my daughter. I never thought it before until she said it, but once she said it, I'm like, but the point is, I love her. She's a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. And as a matter of fact, next time I see her, I'm gonna get her number. Cause I could tell she genuinely, it's just her mother and her mother. Her mother don't play. Like people know, don't play with Miss Marie Callender's. But for whatever reason, she just really took to me and she told me. She was like, I want you just she was saying such edifying, like I was like, Miss Calendars, I can't with you. Cause she was like, no, cause when I see you, and if I don't see that smile, I can tell something's off with you. To be honest, that day that she's talking about, honestly, it wasn't anything off with me. It was just one of those days where I wasn't as what's the word, jovial. Like I was still jovial, but I was just like, okay, let me get this, let me get it done, let me focus. But people with me, my mom even told me something like that. People with me are so when I come into a space, they get so used to me being there in that capacity that if I don't do it, I don't want to say exactly like that, but that same kind of thing, people start to worry, like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Are you okay? There don't be nothing wrong. And honestly, I take it as a compliment because what she's really saying is, you are a happy person. And not only am I a happy person, but she was saying, your energy is a light that she was just going on and on. It was genuine because I see how she talked to other people. She don't be rude with them because they like her too. But she does be a little bit harder with other people versus me. Because with me, she always looks out. When she's there, my orders come back, she'll tell me, okay, Q, you, make sure you get this like this. Make sure you do this. Like she'll tell it to me in a way where it just feels like motherly, where she's looking out like, I don't want nobody having nothing to say about you. I don't know why that almost made me emotional, but it's just. And then one day I talk, y'all know I talk about my mother anywhere I go. It'll come up some kind of way, whether it's like, oh, what am I doing in my life right now? Or I have tennis. Well, how do I have tennis? Because my mom left me. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it comes up. Um, but yeah, it comes up and we talk a lot about that. And her and my mother about the same age. And it's just the things we be talking about. And she told me, I will be your, oh God, what is the word she used? For lack of better words, like, I'm taking you under my wing. I'll be your surrogate mom. For like, because she was saying something like, I can sense your mother. Like, anytime I talk about my mom with people, they can feel her. And I know it's real because that's not the first, she's not the first person to have that response and be like, oh. So I know my mother's, when I'm talking about it and I'm being sincere, people just, when they're like her, they want to be like, I want to help him. Because that's how she was. That's how she is. She's like, she be looking out for me. She be like, and her daughter, and I couldn't believe. But see, that just goes to show you that's why you got to treat everybody good. Because what if I would have been like, oh, she's important because people respect her. She been here for a long time. I can see people respect her. So let me be fake and let me be nice with her. But then I didn't know that was her daughter. So she ain't, what if I would have thought she ain't nobody? She's just a regular associate like me. And I would have gave her energy. See? But what it was is because I'm just, I like genuine energy. Like if you're gonna be funky, I can keep moving. I don't have to stay around. So trust me. But when it's good energy, it just make it easy. Like she came through, the daughter, and it was so sweet. It's so, why would I be nasty to her? To me, I in my head I'd be thinking, if ever, because even I would even have, like, when I would see different things on TV and I think to myself, oh, this person killed their parent, they killed their mom. I'm thinking I would literally kill myself before I would ever let myself do anything to my mom. I would have that thought. Like when I would see something on TV and I would see, like, one night they did this and they came and killed their parents. I'm like, I don't know what happened in their mind, but when I would put the scenario in my head, like, even if some weird demonic spirit came over me, I would fight that spirit and jump off a roof and snap my neck before I would do anything to harm my mom. But that same thought goes from my mom to people that are, like, genuinely, like, what you can see as a lamb, like someone that is clearly kind and that God put a little extra time on. I don't know how to explain it, but when I see those kind of people, because I feel I'm that type of person, but I can't, but I can't do it to me. I can only do it to other people. You know what I'm saying? Like how I treat other people. Well, no, I get in how I treat myself, but you get what I'm saying. I'm saying the idea, for example, with her daughter, or even with her, but let's just use her daughter, because her daughter is not as hard as her mom. Even though she may have been in the military, she just have this innocent, sweet, soft. So when I see her, I think she's a person who deserves to be protected. She's so kind, she's so sweet. And I don't see how anybody, I'm thinking in my head, I don't see how anyone could ever do anything wrong to her. Because if I were in that position and I could have did something wrong to her, I would literally rather do something to myself. before I would do something to her. Because it wouldn't make sense. It's like she too sweet. She too kind. First of all, I wouldn't want to do nothing wrong to nobody, but I'm saying definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like how there's levels of intensity behind it. Definitely. I'm like, no. That's the type of person that you don't want to do nothing wrong to. You don't want to see nothing bad. It's like you don't want to see nothing happen to no one, but then certain personalities come around where you be seeing them and you think, I want her to be happy all her life. That's how I be feeling. Like I know life will happen, but like to survive and to thrive and to have happiness in her life, I don't want her to have to endure like, oh, everyone is jumping on her, talking shit about her, lying on her, like defaming her. No. It's like the third time. Okay, let me. Yeah, Mother Tay said that's strange. Are you talking about that dude who's talking about his daughter being a lesbian? Because y'all know me. Sometimes I will go so far into a conversation that when I read the comment, I have to try to, in my mind, pick back like what could be gross that I said. Was it that dad? Because I talked. I don't know all what I talked about, but I know I talked about a number of things. Um, you said I would be very uncomfortable if I knew my dad or any man was having. Yeah, so I thought, yeah, so but that's why she said her and her husband backed away from that family because they thought it was a weird thing to think, and it didn't even cross my mind until she said it to me. But once she said it to me, I thought, how old is his daughter? Why is he thinking like this? Is the sex shouldn't even be a part? And when it does become a part, like I don't, I'm just I think our things are just changing in the world. I don't know. People's mindsets are just very different than what I remember. I mean, I guess that's a part of existing on the timeline. Because if you go take our people and put them back to 500 years ago to hear what they had to say, certainly they will be thinking we was living wild and loose, which maybe we are, but it's not getting no tighter, baby. It's not getting no tamer and tighter. Sorry, my new phone needed to see my face. Did he make it home? Alhamdulillah. Okay. Okay. I'm live right now. Um so yeah, so I said all that to say I really don't have no complaints. I really don't. And I'm grateful because it's not even like I'm tricking myself not to have complaints. It's showing me I'm like, who sometimes I really will say to myself, like, who are you really? I know who you are, but you've made so many changes that even to myself, I don't fully recognize all the changes. Like when I see them into action, even though they're good, it's just seems like, wow, you really have grown. Because in the past, you would have been feeling different about this. Like it just would be different. Like, girl, like y'all know how I get down. Like it would now with that homeless man, he could have got it just because of how he was. But generally speaking, because guess what? There have been other customers who I spoke to, and they kept walking by like I'd be like, girl, next, because when I speak to them, I'm working. So if I'm just speaking to you in passing, if you don't want to speak back, that's okay with me because I already have other shit to do, and I actually have so much shit to do that what were you even wearing? I couldn't pick you out of a lineup. I don't remember you at all. Like I've just gotten very good about now. Then there are, but I will say this: the overwhelming majority of people are very receptive. Like out of 100%, I say 97%, maybe 98. Like the majority of people actually really let the customers and my coworkers actually appreciate my energy. I had this one Asian family, and they were kind of like in the way of what I needed to grab. So I was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Do you mind if I just?" And she was like, "Oh, no, no problem." And they moved. What it was giving me is that they probably owned a Chinese restaurant, and they was coming to pick up supplies. That's what it was giving, but I don't know because they had a lot of shit in their cart. But regardless, she was like, "Oh." Then she was like, "Do you like your job?" I was like, "Actually, yes, I do." She was like, I can tell. I can tell. Thank you so much for your energy. She was telling me this Asian woman. Thank you so much for your, and like, so I know it's true because when people start talking like that about me, they be saying the same thing. It's your smile. It's your light. It's That's what she's saying to me. The same thing that Miss Calendar said to me. But even between Miss Calendar and her, they're not the first people to tell me that, even at that job. So now it's like I'm just learning more about my capability and my power on how to channel it for a positive to where it can affect people like that. That's what I appreciate better than what I had to endure in that bathroom with that homeless man. That may be a key, but that didn't like pour into my soul like, oh, that was such a great. But when I talk to Miss Calendars, when stuff like that happens with the customers, when I have my coworkers that are like that are helpful and like that builds the morale. So I'm good. Like I'm like, and I'm getting smarter. Like I'm making more money. I'm getting smarter. I know my mother will be proud. That's another thing that the daughter said. She was like, I know your mother is resting peacefully. It's no question in my mind. She was like, I know she's proud of you, and I know she's at peace with how you are moving forward. And I said, that is, other than you saying God was proud of me, that is the highest thing you can say to me. So it's God is well pleased would be the number one, because I serve God, my mother served God, so that's the number one thing. If God is pleased, it could be everybody else is displeased, but if truly God is pleased with you, you can still go to bed. You know what I'm saying? So that's number one. But number two is to say your mother is pleased, because that's a serious thing to me. That's not like, oh, people be acting like, oh, they're making all these promises. These bitches can't even keep their own word. Oh, New Year's resolutions every single year. That shows me you didn't do it the first time. So what don't you get? It shows me you don't keep your word. You said, yes, that creep. Okay, uh-huh. That's what I thought. See, I'm getting better about that too. Not, I don't always catch it because sometimes I still be confused. Like, wait, what was that comment addressing? But in general, I think I do pretty okay when I see a comment like it was a while back. But I'm gonna guess this went to this segment of the conversation. You said, let me read. You said, "Hey Q, I'm going to see Nicki Minaj tonight." Ah, and I immediately went back to clock your Nicki Minaj. It quest to be the boss, Miss Minaj. Oh damn, I caught that match. I can't believe it. Right in my legs. You said thanks for being the culture and for yeah. Aw. 2 snaps and a motherfucking Snapple, bitch. Okay. I live. Thank you. That was a very kind comment. I wish all the best in this new year. Thank you so much. And I can use it, especially when it's sincere. And you said, I've had work moms. You said, I've had work moms, but it's just a work thing. Got you. You said, I love their energy. Genuine nurture. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what I get from multiple people, but definitely Miss Calendars and her daughter. You said, definitely an angel, right? That's how I view it. That's how I view it. So, so that's that on that. And then I just need to get, like I said, I need to really be wise on how I'm spending money, because there's things. See, if my mother were here, I know how she would break it down. I know she would agree with me because I'm trying to be as balanced. There may be some things she would do a little bit different, but in general, I know she will be on my side for the simple fact of what I'm saying really does make sense. Like, number one, I want to get a credit card, maybe a $500 limit. And then with that credit card, I want to pay my bills that I would have to pay anyway. Then I want to turn around and pay that credit card. The money that I was going to pay anyway for those bills. So it's not to be feeling like, oh, let me pay this and put it off. No, we're going to still pay these bills. Why I want to do that is so I can build my credit. Okay. The goal is to boost my credit up to then. Why? Then I can actually assume the full loan and take it out of my mother's name so she can really rest. She not here. Her name shouldn't still be on this bill. But right now, although I may be the successor in interest, still to assume that loan on where my credit is would not be a good look because then the bill may go up, which I think is stupid. I'm like, girl, but it is what it is. So I'm like, no, let me get that credit right. Then get the credit right. Then do this. Then do this. Like, I have goals. I have people be underestimate me, and that's fine. But I always knew I was smart. But the older I get and the longer I survive, especially now with my mother not directly here in the physical, shows me really I'm a lot stronger and a lot smarter than even I thought I was, because it was with the help of God, my mother, the angels, my girls here. But I still had, because it don't matter how much money people sewed in. If I was really irresponsible and if I was really didn't know, didn't take care of business, it would make a difference how much money came in. I would still be broke. You have millionaires who go broke. You have bitches who won Powerball that went broke. So it showed me something that even if nobody was like, even if it wasn't like this outpouring of like, wow, you're really doing a great job, I had to encourage myself and really just stay true to like what I'm knowing I'm enduring and what I'm witnessing, and just have a clear view of that, because I'm like, no, it don't matter what nobody think about me because I'm living this experience. So I know that clearly I'm taking care of business. Whether people want to acknowledge that or not, they can downplay it. That's fine. Don't make a difference. Okay, because I'm the one who's paying this light bill. I'm the one who's paying this water, this gas, this internet, this. I'm the one. And it shows I have to have some type of intellect to understand this is important, pay it. This is important, pay it. Put this to the side, pay it. Like, to have to get on the phone and talk with these people, like, so I'm like, no, honestly, I'm proud of myself. Like, in addition to, inshallah, my mother and God being pleased, the third opinion after God, then my mother, the next opinion after that, that would, when I can say this, so for that, only I can do. But when I am genuinely talking to myself and I'm saying to myself, you are doing good, Quadir. You really are. You are doing what needs to be done. You're figuring it out. You're asking, you're doing all the right things. You're turning to God. You're remembering the lessons that your mother taught you. You're pulling from the well of wisdom. When you make a mistake, you see what you did and you really try to recalibrate and do it better the next go around. Like, that's true for me. I don't care what no one says, because if it wasn't true, I wouldn't be here still. If I was just, I got it wrong and I'm just keep down the wrong road, wrong, I wouldn't be here. I'll be somewhere in the world, if even alive, who knows? But I wouldn't be here. I'll be somewhere else if I was just irresponsible, fly by night type of nigga. Even though that's how girls want to make it seem, she's just so irrational. I'm like, girl, please. And for the girls who believe that, I felt sorry for them, because it just showed everything. It was telling across the board, in my opinion. It was telling across the board. It showed me the type of girls I had in my audience, the type of girls who really believed in me, the type of girls that were just fake and couldn't really think for themselves to really see what they were witnessing and be able to digest that and know what they were watching. But it showed me about me. It showed me what I can endure, what I can do, it showed me, it strengthened my relationship with God, because I had to pull closer to that. Because I didn't have like this major, like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, and you got to get over it. Because the bottom line is, would it have been nice to have had all the support? Sure. But bottom line is, that's not what happened. So moving on. Like, and I'm talking to myself like this. Like, with kindness, but like getting to that point. Like, we're not about to sit here and dwell. We're not doing that. That's not what we do. We addressed it. We said it. For the girls who believed me and wanted to get on board and support what I was doing, alhamdulillah. Thank you to the moon and back. That will never end. I'll never forget it. It don't matter what happened to my situation. I will always remember the girls that kept me afloat. From my patrons to the girls who just sowed seeds. Like, so that don't make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm never going to forget that. But even in doing that, I still had to find the strength that, okay, so Allah made a way. He put the angels in your path. You have the money now. Take care of business. But I could have been some ignorant fool and been like, oh, I got some money. Let me go shopping. Girl, I can go grab you some jeans. I'm telling you. One of my coworkers, she was like, oh, my jeans, I wear them too much, like her work jeans. And I'm like, oh, why? Because they rip into the crotch area. I know what that's like. Most of my jeans are like that. Because over time, even if they're high quality, girl, if you just have to keep wearing the same outfit over and over and over again, washing over and over and over again, drying, it's like it wears the fabric down. So eventually, if the areas that are having that friction, it's going to just wear away. It's just how it is. But Did I need new clothes? Did I need new shoes? I mean, you sitting here, these are my rehearsal shoes. Do you see that? I can put my finger through this. That's why, that's what I'm saying. It's like, this is what I was, dealing with. I wasn't like, oh, I need a whole new wardrobe. And I was not embarrassed about that because I took it like, I'm doing what I have to do. And one day I'll have the money to do these things. I can't say when, Allah knows best. But if I believe that, that means I have to continue to rehearse and continue to work hard and figure out a way. So when this whole situation where the inspiration came to me, like, you know what? It was a feeling. Why didn't I think this way 2 years ago, 3 years ago? But it was just a feeling like, you know what? We're going to get to where we want to get, but you need a job now. This is going to be like a part that's going to, a critical part that's going to help for you to do the things that you don't even know you're about to do. But you need that job first. And you need to work that job and stay with that job just to prove to yourself, to the angels, like that you will take the mantle and do what you have to do. You said you were going to do it with integrity, and that's what you did. Now you're there. Work the job. Because it's not like you're there for free. You're getting paid. And with that money that you get, then you'll be able to do things. Invest in yourself. Like, I didn't go on a full wardrobe situation, but it was like, okay, boom. When I had that first time, I had a little bit of money left over because I had to take care of. I'm talking about, like, when I say paid first time, I'm talking about paid plus all the money that came through for rent and whatnot. I got initially 2 button-down shirts through the money that I had. You know what I'm saying? I took care of all these things that I had to take care of, but for myself, I said, you know what? I can treat myself to that. That's not, and I know that that's an important part too. You have to pay yourself too. So it's like, okay, I don't have much money left after all this, but I have enough to be able to treat myself to those shirts. And I look damn good in those shirts, and they're coming home with me. Then when I got this check, I took $100 out and put it into, so I have 3. I'm like, how did this happen? I went from having 1 bank account really my whole life to now having 3. But I took $100 out, put it into the one that is like the smaller bank for just saving. So I said, okay, every check I'll take $100 out and put it in there and just forget about it because I don't ever use that card. I don't know what that money will be for, but just $100, just put it away. Then I said, okay, so you put 100 in savings. Now that outfit that I saw that I know is reasonable and that is going to be cute for me, I'm getting her. That's my treat to myself, and I don't feel guilty about it. You know why? Because I haven't been shopping, like, especially with shopping, and you know you got it. Like, and even with that, I didn't go crazy like, oh, let me get 3. I said no, because just stay focused. That's just, don't, you got to learn. So you're doing good. You're doing good. Stay level. Don't start being like, oh, let me get a new pair of shoes. Because I still haven't got no new shoes yet, but it'll come. It will come. You said I would have to consciously make sure to not open my legs too much. Oh, you talking about with those pants that get the rips in the crotch? Yeah, yeah. Because you can see it really from the front or the back. Now, with my clothes too, with all of my dancing and rehearsing, they get worn out just from that because I do like full range of motion. So it's like, it's not just even regular walking. I'm spinning, I'm on the ground, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like, so with all of that, it's just where's it just expedites the conversation. But y'all, it's like I give all the credit to Allah. Like, yes, I'm putting work behind my faith, but it all comes from God. I always have to maintain that. That's never gonna change until I'm with the Father, the Creator, into the next situation, which I had a revelation with that. I'm like, oh my God. Like, God was just explaining some stuff. And I'm like, at some point, I need to get back to, there's a few things, writing these songs and doing this podcast. Cause there be thoughts that be coming to me that I be wanting to share. And it just be like, I come home from work and I'd be like, yo, let me chill for a little bit. And then just, let me get my work clothes for tomorrow. It's like, it's just crazy. That's what I mean when I say I don't recognize myself. I have never been this organized in my life. I have a bill book. I got a calendar. You know what I'm saying? Like, my home is organized. Like, I'm managing, like, I'm like, and I got a full-time job. Like, that don't even seem like something that I would have even thought I could do. I don't know, that sounds crazy, but I'm just being real with you. Like, can I really do all this? How is that possible? I would have been like a lot of that. Like, if I would have known beforehand what it would have been, I think I would have probably tried to talk not God out of it, but like try to get him to see my side. Like, how am I supposed to be an artist, run a house, be a landlord, work a full-time job? What about my babies? What about having a life? Like, that isn't, it seemed impossible to me. And for my way of thinking, if I would have knew about this before, it like it had to come in stages, I think, because that's what I think I would have been feeling like, honestly. If we being real, what we do? I thought being real. Like, that's to me would have been like, how am I supposed to endure all that? So you telling me I would have had to, it's just, if I would have knew the whole thing, like from, okay, we gonna show you literally, because God did show me, but he didn't show me like this. He showed me kind of more like the end result, like what was gonna happen. So then I'm thinking, how are we gonna get there if I can't even get through this middle part? But had I would have known beforehand all the things that I would endure from the time of my mom passing into a pandemic, into just everything that happened, I would have been like, can we, do it have to be all of this in this way? And do I really have to have like, have to be a person that got to balance all this? That just seemed like too much for a person like me who have ADHD. It's asking for too much. That's what I probably would have said. You know me, you know how my mind be working. How am I gonna focus on all this shit? I can barely, like, come on. I really would have tried to convince God to make, maybe you can still give me difficulty, but make it different. I don't know. But I'm actually glad that I didn't know these details, because actually, for the things how it affected me and made me the man that I really am, and that I really am looking at myself like, I really love this person. That's not narcissistic, arrogant. I'm just genuinely looking at me, knowing who I am, knowing my character, knowing my temperament, knowing how I move, knowing how the thoughts that I think, knowing my intentions, knowing me in real life, and really sitting with that and just really like, and on them days where it was like, we've talked about so much through the years, family. But just for real, when I really look in the mirror, and in addition to that, I love all of my quirks. I love my hair, my skin, my issues. Like, it's all, I'm like, you know what? And I love every thing about it. Like, not on an arrogant tip, but just to know this body been through so much. So much. Emotionally, spiritually, just feel like constantly having to burn everything down to build it back up, to break it down again, to build it back up. And then, but each time it's like you built it first, the first time it was one story. Then you broke it down. But when you built it again, it came back 2 stories, and you gained 300 more square feet. But then when you knock that down, then you built it back 3 stories, and you had an acre. But you get what I'm saying? But each time you do that, it becomes more work, but it's giving you more coverage. I don't know how to explain it. I just know I'm seeing it in pictures. Like, when I be thinking, I see things and I try to put words to it. But what I'm saying is, that's how I'm seeing it. Like, that's what my life has been. Like, I keep having to knock it down, but when I'm coming back, it's like it's coming back. Even if people don't understand that because they don't know the zone, like how much of this is my land, it's like, yo, all of this is my land. Not literally, but figuratively. Like, all of this, what you saying, is actually my land. It just happened through stages. Like, first I had one story in a few hundred, like one of those tiny backyards. Then it just kept growing and growing and growing as you put the work in, and just, I don't know. And then one day you get to a point, you be like, how did you get here? You don't even recognize from that first little house you had that you knocked down to where you ended up in this situation where you looking around and you really are saying to yourself, like, with humility, like, God, I can't thank you enough. I'm not even where 100% where I want to be, and I still be talking like that. Like, I cannot thank you enough, Allah. I don't even have no complaints. I don't care. It's gonna take what it takes. It's gonna take as much time as it takes. It's gonna take what it takes. And now, having been through this process, I'm like, I'm not even looking for no shortcut out. Just let's do the work. That's the best way. And you also feel better about it that way too. Because now when I look back, knowing what I went through, I'm like, I can't believe I did it with Allah. Like, and then it shows you, like, and God had to have been with you. You couldn't have done it by yourself. I don't care how strong I can come across, he, she, any of them come across. No person, in my opinion, can do it by themselves. Like, especially without God. Like, you might could do it by yourself with God's help. But even if you had all these other people on your side and God wasn't on your side, it would still fail and collapse, in my opinion. But if you can be in the will of God and have a small little tribe, then you really are winning. And when I really thought about it, I'm thinking, that's what I got. That's actually what I got. Like, God is on my side. Plus, I have a small community of people who really do fuck with me. Like, okay, we went through the stage of having to, things were inflated. You know what I'm saying? Like people who were just along for the ride. And then when shit got real, we got to see that break down and burn down. And then through that though, is what brought out the gold. Like separated the wheat from the chaff or whatever, how they say that. Like it showed me. And so even though the load was lighter, it was quality. That makes sense? Like before you separated the ingredients, let's just say it was weighing 2 tons. Because a lot of this shit got to go anyway. But we just bringing this with us so we can have the actual product. But then when you actually start to shave it down for what you can actually use to make into the loaf of bread or whatever you're going to turn it to, by the time you get to that point, it's not going to be as heavy as what it started off as. And that goes across the board. So it's lighter just spiritually, emotionally, it feels lighter. It's lighter because you know all that weight and it's good for you to know that. And I think that God, for people who are in the will, I think God, there's an appreciation for letting his people know who's with them and who's not. Because it's not really serving God, his kingdom, his people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, when people that really shouldn't be there are there. That don't help. So it's good that before you really start to leading people into the quote unquote promised land, you understand who you have with you. Because you see, when the Pharaoh came for him and came with his fleet, what did God do? That same passage that just let all these girls through, wash these girls away. So it's that type of idea behind it. Like I understand why. So in my mind, it's like when my mother passed, it was the ocean, the Red Sea or whatever it was opening, whether I knew that or not. And what happened was, as the whole process of my mother passing, that's the climax to where we are kind of like right now. But the beginning of it was how Moses came to that revelation, like, I'm not Egyptian, but I'm not quite a Jew, even if I was born one, because that's not my lifestyle. He had to burn it down. He had to leave the palace. He left that place. And what happened? When he went into the wilderness, is when the journey really began. And for all that time that he spent out there, that wasn't even it. Because it was like, okay, now you got to come back to Egypt and deal with your brother or whoever this person is. Uncle, I don't know, I forget. You got to deal with him and tell him essentially to let my people go. That's why I say Moses be a DJ. But okay, let my people go. Now, in the beginning, what was it? Bitches, oh girl, look at him, that's Moses. Look at him, now he's dressed in rags. He came in there, and what happened? In the beginning, when he started giving them signs, wonders, and facts and figures, they didn't want to accept that. Oh, I got magicians too, girl, come on. But their quote-unquote magic did not touch the creation of God. So you have to make illusions. God can really create something. Whatever it is, to you could be, I could say, turn that ladybug into an elephant right in this backyard if I wanted. And it could be, and right from this second, it could be an elephant in your backyard if I wanted to. But you're not going to trick God into doing it when you want it. It's going to happen when he decide, if he decide. And what I think that God saw probably from the very beginning, but then now it's into our timeline, is, you know why these Negroes don't need to see me? Because they're ungrateful. You probably don't even know, because all we can go back to is, the furthest we really can go back as far as recorded history is what? The Egyptians and the Greece, the Romans. Okay, we really don't know what signs them other girls got. You understand what I'm saying? In other words, it could have been where there were angels down here. We don't know how it started. But what I believe is, just as a human, living as a human right here now, humans are ungrateful. Once they see something, then even if it's miraculous, they get over it. Because if that wasn't true, then every day you wake up and you see that sun, or every night you see that moon, I always say, there's nothing you're going to see in a museum that is more ancient than what you can see for free. Don't get me wrong. I think museums are great. But I'm saying, to me, that is the most ethereal thing you can see for free every day. And yet you wake up, you be in a bad mood, good mood, don't matter. But regardless, it's not really a thought that most people will have. And if they do have it, it'll be fleeting. Like, I think about that every day. Every single day, I think about that. I'll be outside sometimes just chilling, looking at the sky, and just be like, this sun right now is the same. And this is what God means. Because there's nothing you can do that is true like this. That one sun right now can light this entire country. Like this entire, whatever side is being lit and it's nighttime over here. Okay, the side that's being lit, that one sun that is perfectly placed can literally, it's not like there's areas that are not getting the sun. It was designed so everybody can get the sun and the moon. Everyone. You don't have to be on this side of the country to get it. Or, oh, we all got to move. The sun don't come over here. That's not true. That's perfect divinity, perfect design. Like, and it's ancient. But my point is, how do we know that maybe God at some point did come down in it's some kind of manifestation? And when people saw it for like a week, maybe they were like, and then right away they started feeling like, well, really, he looked just like one of us. Why can't we just kill him and there is no God? And then we could just, I mean, there's something about people have a problem with something being above them. They'll see it as alien and it needs to be destroyed. So for that purpose, the whole world will go into chaos if God really came through. Like the girls who want to see him, no, you can't see. Because number one, if I came through, it's that means okay, how about this? For when I do come through, the world will be over. That's the last day. So you want to see me today? If you ready to go right now, we can wrap it up. So how do you feel? I feel on the day where that revelation, where it's right there, factual in your face, then that will be that all this will start packing up. Whether the sky starts to falling apart and the ground beneath our feet start falling down, it'll just be the end. I sense that at the time that would occur. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, God is off through the creation, so we definitely do. But my point is, I'm just like, I think about it every day. It's like in my mind, my rotation of thoughts are pleasing God, pleasing my mom, the angels, living well, earning an honest living, getting things done in my life, executing my dream, and then sometimes I'll throw love in there too, but that's on the back burner. If it would be nice for that to happen, but I'm more focused on, because then a part of me thought maybe I would want to adopt a daughter. You know what I'm saying? So at least that way, my mom is getting, and I would also, for myself, I feel like I would be a good father, but I don't know that I need to bring a whole new, brand new soul to this world. Because, yeah, it would get my mom's genes, but it would also get my dad's genes, which I love him, but ain't nobody trying to pass. I just feel like, why don't you just start with a brand new baby that's already here? So now we both stepped out of a curse. You stepped away from yours, I stepped away from mine. And now we're a family together. I think I would be a good dad. But that would have to come once I take care of things and things where they need to be. But, and it may never happen. I mean, it just depends. It's something that I'm open to. But I'm like, Lord have mercy. But that's another thing. One of my coworkers is another older lady who we've always, that's what I'm saying. I get along with a lot of my coworkers, honestly. This is the first time I ever had, I feel like even with that manager who can be annoying, who was call herself clocking me, on a level, when I think about her, I think to myself, she's a little bit annoying. It could be worse. I've had to work with people who were worse than her. For me, she not that bad. Now she did send someone I liked home the other day, which I was like, girl, that was low key petty. But then someone else told me, well, they sent her home because they told her, about not, you can't wear sweatpants to work. I'm like, okay, that is true. Or like joggers, that whole thing. I'm like, all right, I hear you, but there's a lot of rules. Number one, you can't have earbuds in when you out on the floor. You're not supposed to wear hats, scarves, nothing like that. I didn't see niggas in scarves, hats, face mask, hoodies. You're not supposed to wear hoodies. And if you do wear a hoodie, you're supposed to tuck it underneath your vest. Honey, please. Like, so to me, it's one thing to follow a dress code, but I know I could, I see it from her point where it's like, okay, that's the dress code, but where to me it's not fair is you're not really enforcing the full dress code. And what I've heard just through the grapevine passing through, people saying like, oh, they have favorites, people who they will dress and people who they won't. That would explain how some people can wear hats and stay at work. And then, because she was telling, oh, girl, well, do you want to buy a pair of pants? Because you can't wear those. She was like, no, I'm not going to buy a pair of pants. She was like, well, then you got to go home. She was like, well, I guess I'm going home. I'm like, for me, I'm like, girl, just stay in the dress code. It's simple. Like, this job is, like I said, the easiest job. Okay, I would say at Old Navy, I could wear what I wanted to wear, but I didn't like the job. Here, I can wear what I want to wear. I just have to put on a vest. But they have a simple dress code. When I was at Publix said I could not have no facial hair. My hair got to be pulled back into a ponytail. It was too much trying to tell me how to be. Like, the fuck? How are you gonna tell me? And one time I came to work and I had shaved, but you know how like when it started to come back in a little bit, he telling me, "Oh, next time you come to work, right now your facial hair is too much. Next time you come in with that much facial hair, I'm gonna have to send you home." And at that point, I'm like, "Oh, I got to get the fuck up out of here." But he ended up being a pervert too. But that's not to me, because he coming to work knowing damn well people can see his penis in his pants, like he not wearing no underwear, and I'm like, I don't like that. Anyway, so, but yeah, he was like, "Yeah, next time I'm gonna have to send you home," and I'm like, "Okay, girl, I ain't think about you," because I'm like, "Ho, you're not about to tell me I have to shave, and what if, like, I'm not about to shave every day? That's just not something I'm going to do for no job. Shave my face every single day." Just because that's what you want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. Stop shaving my face. Bitch, it'll be just fine. You up here talking about you gonna send me home. So there, and hold on. And I'm trying to think, did we have a uniform? I'm thinking, what was it? Was it khaki? I forget. I'm trying to think. I don't think we could. They may have changed the rules because one time I went to Publix maybe a year or two ago, and I saw it was a man there with facial hair. And I'm like, oh, they must have got rid of that because they was like, bitch, anybody about to keep fucking with y'all? Anybody about to keep like having to be addressed about what happens naturally to your face? Because you wouldn't address no woman like this, and that's another part. The women could come in there with red hair, long hair, wig, no wig, bald head. They didn't have nothing to say about the woman's appearance. So I'm like, and I didn't think that was a problem. I just didn't understand why they felt it was okay to tell us, because I'm like, the same way how you're not about to tell her she can't wear her makeup or she can't, whatever, how it's going to be. How do you think you can really tell someone shave that natural thing off your face? I was like, the fuck out my face, sweetheart. You talking real crazy now. You just don't know it. You talking real stupid. So I knew that wasn't gonna work. But here, honey, I can come in with my hoop earrings, honey. You know, I still, just because it's me, I'm stepping out. I'm gonna always be cute. I don't care how plain it is. Come through with my graphic tee, my Vans, my jeans, and they'll tell me nothing. So for me, I'm like, you know what? I like this job. They don't bother me too much. Even with that one manager. I mean, she really only came to me that one time. And she do be having an attitude in general, like different times I'll be like, good morning, such and such. And sometimes she won't even say it back. And then sometimes when she does say it back, she'll do it like, good morning. Like, it's just so odd to me. I'm like, when I interviewed with you, you acted like you liked me, but it's just so this energy now is kind of strange. I don't know. But the point is even with that, I don't care. That store is big enough, I hardly have to see her. And not only that, it's like the job is so like active that if I do see her, it's like not for long. I'll live. I'll get over it. That's the way my mind be telling me. Like, it ain't really that big a deal. I'm just laughing because I really be like so unbothered about it because I'm like, so like for example, let me tell you. So the other day when I clocked out, sometimes the system have issues. I know I clocked out, I remember, but irrelevant. The point is, I came home, got busy, fed the babies, took them out, gamed a little bit, just was relaxing, put a little TV on. And something told me, oh, go see when you work again and when's your next day off or something to that effect in my head. So I went on my schedule. And it's telling me that I'm clocked in. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's a demon. Y'all trying to make it look like I'm trying to what? Go home and just be getting paid to be at home. You know. So I'm like, girl, let me clock out. And they have an option where you can adjust the time. So I did the clock out and then I rewound it I adjusted the time and I rewound it to the time that I remembered that I clocked out. But then guess what? They were like, oh, there was an error because you're not within the proximity. You would have to be basically back at the store because you're not supposed to clock out at home. So you have to be at the store. So I'm like, bitch, I already caught this Uber home, came about my work clothes, then did all this. Now I'm comfortable. You telling me now I have to order another Uber just so I can ride up there and clock out. So anyway, but of course, I'm like, bitch, if that's what I got to do, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to just, I'll just let the clock keep running until I come back in the next day. Girl, hell no. You giving the bitch a reason to make it look like you on some weird shit. I'm like, no, I'm not going to say it's my fault because I know I clocked out, but it will be my fault if I don't fix it. So that had happened, okay, innocent enough. But if I don't, especially now I'm knowing, if I don't go back over there and make it right, then it's my fault. So boom, got the Uber. Get to work or back to work. And the first thing I did was when I stepped on the premise was did the clock out and adjusted the time. And actually, one of my coworkers who I have her number, I text her, but she be moving so fast, she probably didn't even know that I texted her. So I said, girl, I can't wait on that. Cause she may have, I'm thinking, cause on this particular day, she told me what time she was leaving and it was a different time. I still leave before her, but it was a different time. So I'm like, did she say she leave at 1 or 2? So I'm like, she not responding quick enough. Cause what I texted her was, I'm trying to clock out. I'm explaining to her the situation. And I'm like, if you can let the different managers know that I'm on my way to fix it or whatever the case was, like I'm trying to fix it, is giving me issues, but I'm just so you know in advance while I'm on my end, because at that point I wasn't 100% sure until I realized I'm seeing this dot on the map. I'm like, oh, they want me to go back to the fucking store. Are you serious? But okay, if that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. And homegirl wasn't responding, so I said it's just better for me to just go and handle it. So I went. First thing I did, I clocked out. I adjusted the time to the original time that I clocked out. Okay, but what did I also do? I was like, no, even though I adjusted this and I clocked out, I want to speak to a manager just so that they can be on notice that this happened and here's the reason why, and that you saw my face and I clocked out and adjusted the time. But I just want you to be aware that this is what happened. Yes, I did clock out. I know that I did. But in general, their equipment, their system sometimes does have issues. And they're even a witness to that. Different times where I'm like coming back from lunch and it's not letting me clock in. So now they're saying, okay, when that happens, when the system is funky like that, you have to actually go to the old fashioned computer that they have at the store in the back and in the break room. Well, not the break room, but in the back area. And I've had to do that a number of times. So their system sometimes is wonky, but it's no point in bitching about that. Like there's a solution and I'm not going to think too long about it. Just get back over there, clock out. adjust the time, and then go speak to someone who, because I would imagine when you do, because that's another thing. So boom, you adjust the time. They're asking you why. Clock out, punch issue, or something like that. It was the option. But so that tells me they're going to see that. And just so we can be clear about how it happened and why it happened, and that I'm here to fix it, I would like to just make you aware. So that's all that happened. But when I saw her in the break room, this particular manager, that's where I was going with that. So I clocked out. And I'm like, who's on board right now? Like, what manager in our department? Oh, I think such and such is in the break room, the one who be having the attitude, and then the one who people be like touch and go with her, but she's nice to me. She'll be giving me too many issues. The black sister is my favorite one with the locks. That's my favorite one, but that's neither here nor there. But I do like the white one. So I was like, well, where is she? She was like, oh, she's running around like a chicken with her head cut off because she's in the handling this, handling that, and whatever. So now I'm thinking, damn, I gotta go talk to this other one. Fine, because regardless, I'm gonna handle it, like whether she like me or don't. So I went. She was like, she in the break room. I think she's on her lunch. So I went back there, and she was with another one of my colleagues who I actually really do like. It's another older woman, and she's a Scorpio too. That's my Scorpio twin. I said, hey, Miss Such and Such, and hey, because I already know what type of time it is. So I'm not gonna give you the ultra like what I could give. I'm gonna give you not nasty. I'm gonna give you like, hey, how you doing, Miss Such and Such? But for that other girl who was sitting at her table, the older woman, I was like, hey, the thing that I normally do for her. But okay, boom. So she seemed like she was in a better mood that when I met her when she was eating and having lunch. But I'm telling her the situation, and I guess she was laughing like, why did you feel you had to tell me that? She didn't say that, but that's kind of what it was given. I don't care what it is. To me, I don't want no problems. And whether you feel I had to tell you or not, I just feel it's best. Something like that happened. Let me just let somebody know so that we can all be on accord. You know what I'm saying? Like, because she was looking like, you came all the way back to work to tell me that. But I was explaining like, well, they wouldn't let me clock out and adjust the time from my house. So I had to come here to do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's giving, make me sweat. Because when I saw that, I'm like, bitch, I am grateful that something just made me say, oh, let me see when I work again, when I'm off again. But the good thing is when I went back to the location, that's when I said, while I'm up here, let me take 100 out and put it into my other account. Because I have been meaning to do that. And I was like, you know what? At least if I do that, it'll be a good thing. And it won't be like I just came back to work to clock out. And then that's why I also ordered that sub sandwich. I feel like I have this let me see, this Scorpio reading up. And I'm wondering what's she gonna be talking about. Let me see.
To your weekly reading. This is
Oh,
going to be
this ain't
for
the one.
the 8th going to the 14th of April. Let's dive in for you guys. All right, please spirit for my lovely
You wanna know something?
Let's see what's going on for them.
Here's what's funny. This is not the girl that I was talking about. In all honesty, I'm like, this is not the girl. So I'm wondering why she's on my screen right now. Because this is not the right girl. But I am curious to see what she got to say. I want to see if she's going to. And then after she do my read, then maybe I'll do a general read. Let's see. Let's see what the energy is giving, because I'm not going to guarantee that. It could happen, though. Okay.
Them this week. Did we have this last time? You have the here and now card, really about focusing on the present moment. That's where the opportunities come up, not when we're thinking about the past or trying to go back or just revisiting old memories. And
Okay.
especially not by worrying about the future, okay? what you do today is more important than what you say you're going to do tomorrow. I think that's a
That was
message for
good.
somebody out there. Okay, make sure that you are focused on the present moment. All right, let's see. Please,
Okay.
Spirit,
It's
for
giving.
Scorpio.
I'm gonna give it.
For this week, please, Spirit.
I'm giving her.
You also have being flexible. That's quite interesting. You guys know me, and if you don't now, you know. Whenever eggs come up in this deck, or in general, but it's really in this deck that it comes up the most. Eggs really represent bringing something to life. Something is hatching, okay? At the moment, it's something that is still developing, still going on behind the scenes, whether that's a project that you know about or whether you're trying to bring something forward, a manifestation, I don't know. But it definitely is something new coming into your world. This could be something that, yeah, some of you might know
This
about
is
this
how I know.
already.
This is what I'm gonna say, and I hope this is resonating for other Scorpios as well as girls who have Scorpio in their chart. And you may just get additional, like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the way I feel is when you are in certain people's presence, just through their energy will bring good energy to you. Like good luck. I've had that happen. Like people be around me and they'll be like, oh my God, I got this job that I really wanted. This happened, that happened. I'm like, because I be really praying on it too. But I'm saying, I'm like, you know why? That's because when you spoke to me about it and I was really encouraging you, I really meant that. I wasn't being fake with you. I really felt like you could do it. Why not? And I really put that out on top of your energy so that when you got it back, you came back with more. You get what I'm saying? Because now it's your positive on top of, and my positive on top of your positive. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but I hope, because she making sense. And this is 100% how I'm feeling right now. I don't know where the rest of it's gonna go. Here now, that's what I'm doing. It's giving Luther Vandross. Here now. Oh, yeah, yeah. I promise to love faithfully, faithfully. You're all I need. It's giving Luther Vandross. Let's be clear about it. And her energy is giving me like what I want. Like I believe it. Because some of the girls, I'm like, girl, okay. But the cards still be telling the truth. You just got to know what they mean. Because sometimes they just be making shit up. I'm like, girl, you just pull shit out your ass. But so far with her, I'm like, okay, I'm with it.
They're asking for your flexibility when it comes down to bringing something to life, whether it's a part of yourself you want to be new, I don't know, apply it to a situation. But it may not happen in the way that you expect it to happen. So make sure that we're a little bit flexible. I always say with this, the egg is still the same. What you're bringing to life, the goal is still the same, but the way that you need to go about it might have to change. So there could be a little bit of.
How is that not the case? Look at the situation I'm in. She's literally strumming my. She's hitting the classics tonight. Wow, she's giving us classics tonight. Honey, so far she is 1000% resonating with me, honey, because I'm like, she's saying the goal is still the same, but the way in which you're getting to said goal may have altered. And what God, the angels, the ancestors, the guardians are asking for at this time is your flexibility and the ability to understand when it's time to pivot. When the inspiration hits you, not to stall out and to like freeze. That's not the time to do that. It's not the time to do that. You got to push forward as like there is a grace, like a period for you to think. But what I'm saying is you can't be all day with this shit. And I don't mean that literally. I just mean it can't be months and months. I can even see you taking a week, but it don't need to be some extended thing. Because in the time it's going to take for you to say yes, because you wasn't in the here and now, you wasn't showing flexibility, the opportunity have moved on. And this is what I believe this sister is channeling. She's definitely hitting the marks for me so far. She still has some more time to go. So some of this may be for me, and then another part, you just got to know. But I still feel her to be sincere in her messages and she's really like translating the energy which she's picking up on, I believe her. I believe her. So we're going to just see where she takes us on this journey to the past. The past. Let's see where we go. Because I believe her and she's hitting the classics because now it's giving. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. She's giving me da, da, da. No, but it really is giving. So let's see what she got.
That coming through for some of you, but let's carry on.
Let's carry on, darling.
Let's carry on, please, Spirit.
Okay.
Ooh, you have the 6th chakra. This is the third eye coming through for you guys. So this is really about being able to see opportunities, being able to see, read between the lines.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Yeah, hey, butter, honey, because this thing is spreading like butter. It's spreading like butter. She's hitting it where she needs to. Third eye chakra in effect. Because no, for real, it's like, girl, just here now. Continue, move on with your job. Get your check. You have goals. You have things you're trying to get done. Got time to sit here and argue with these bitches. Give them your real life time. Bitch, you thought I was going to give you energy and effort? That is hilarious. Bitch, I'm not about to sit up here and entertain you. When I got to do with you, I will. And in accordance at that time. But honey, boo boo Chan, I'm not about to sit here. Get off my chariot, Mariah, and throw Roman tomatoes with this bitch within a pig pen. Who's doing that? So she's serving it. She's serving it.
Being awake to the magic maybe of the universe as well. Let's get you another one.
Alhamdulillah.
This is seeing things clearly, okay? Seeing the truth
I
in
can
things.
see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Girl, what you mean? What you mean, girl? You're gonna have to explain it to me again. You might get some, but you just lost one. Oh my God. Oop, shawala walla, oop, shabang bang, oop, shawala walla, oop, shabang bang, oop, shawala walla, oop, shabang bang, oop, shawala walla.
Let's see, please, Spirit.
Come on, Spirit.
We have happy family coming through. I like that. I mean, you could be spending some time with family this week, or building a family with someone, or just having really good people around you. This reminds me of the 10 of Cups, okay, which is all about that happiness, and not just your happiness, but people around you.
But hold on. Did I not just say, number one, we was talking about work family. Did we not just say, Mike, see, hold on. Now we're not going to act like we didn't just talk about it. We're not going to act like we didn't just have a conversation. Because, sweetheart, we all were privy to the conversation that we just had where we were explaining how that woman, Miss Calendars, how she was like, oh, I'm going to take you, like, be your surrogate mom kind of thing. And how her daughter is so sweet. And how I was like, oh, she's so kind. And then did I not just have a conversation about potentially adopting and having my own little family situation? But again, that would be, Allah knows best. I'm saying that, but only Allah knows. But regardless, she's on the money even still.
This could be like your soul family. It doesn't have to be blood related, but it definitely is you and other people having really fun experiences together, which is really lovely. I think you are being
I don't even know who this lady is. This is my first time seeing her. And this was not the video I had queued up. When this video started, I'm like, who? This is the wrong girl. Only because clearly there's a reason why God wanted me to click on that and think it was something else. So that's why I'm like, no, I'm gonna leave it up because I'm like, this isn't what I intended. The girl I was looking for, it was a white girl, but she be standing up and she has red lipstick, she has dark hair, and she has a black. She normally wears black. I mean, I'm not saying she always wears it, but she normally wears black, and she be having fedoras on and shit. And she just posted a video, and I thought, okay, this will be now, but I still hadn't seen that one either. So both of them would have been fresh, but this one, I feel like, to be fair, she's only almost 3 minutes in. She still got more time, but even if she got the rest of it wrong, I'm not even gonna say wrong. Even if the rest of the message was for someone else, the part she got for me, it was still making sense. But I am hoping that she hits more messages. But so far, honey, please, ain't nothing she said so far that was wrong.
more I'm hearing patient, you're being more grounded, or you're being guided to be like that this week. Okay, it'll be really helpful for you to see where spirit's asking you to go. So if you felt a bit lost and confused, not really certain, be present, be connected, meditate a little bit, open your third eye if you are able to, in whatever way, connect with yourself, though. It will really help you be flexible. Let's say, for example, I don't know why this is coming up, but we can get a little bit irritated and a little bit stubborn sometimes. But this is saying to kind of bend with the wind. If you're staying stuck and rigid and this wind inevitably comes, change, it's going to really knock you over, and that can cause some irritation. I'm sensing a little bit of anger, irritation, like, oh my God. Don't make things harder for yourself. When you are emotionally stable, when you are awakened, that's what I want to say, when you're understanding, okay, just because I have to do something a little bit differently doesn't mean that I'm not going to have this thing. Okay, eyes on the prize. I think you know that you're going to have success in whatever this is that you're bringing to life or trying to manifest in. So it's just really about enjoying the journey in the meantime. Okay, focusing on what you're doing on each day. Okay, in the here and now. Let's see.
She's on it, family. Everything she's saying.
We got one, let's get two.
And hold
you
on.
Have soulmate coming in, so definitely.
Hold on. Before she finishes that, if this would have been a turn, I would be reading her up and down right now. Like, we would key about it. Like, it wouldn't be. I wouldn't totally rip her down, but I would definitely read her down. Like, girl, she fake. Like, not even just because the message didn't resonate, but it's some of these people do be having fake energy to me. It don't even be about. It'd be like it's something with them. Like, it's an energetic thing. But her energy feels like it's where it is. Like, okay, she's doing some shit. And them cards, you seeing how they flipping out, like, okay. Because some of these girls, it just be too much. I can't, it when you see it. But I'm glad she's one of the ones that I'm like able to say, okay, well, she's on her shit so maybe you can go and see what she got to say about your sign if you're not a Scorpio. Because at least from what I'm getting from her, this is my first time seeing her. I'm saying for my first time seeing her, this presentation, I'm not mad. Now let's see what she got to say about the soulmate.
Love coming up for you guys, and you have joy. Okay. Love this. This is base chakra. Okay, so your identity, the way that you see yourself and view the world, that's changing. Your sense of security could be changing or deepening here. You also have joy, which is also your solar plexus chakra. So what you are capable of. I think you guys are finding joy again in the present with the people that you have around you. So same theme coming in. People are going to be very important for you this week. All right, let's carry on. For my lovely Scorpios, the skunk spirit is an interesting one. We've got the badger. Now, these are animals that actually look quite similar. So I wonder if these like black and white stripes are meaningful in some way. I don't know.
Both.
Anyway, you have skunk spirit, which says know your worth, and badger spirit, which says.
Here's what's funny. She's saying, I don't know if there's a significance to the black and white. How they are animals, like That second one, low key, kind of looked like Felice in the face a little bit, or Sabine even. He got Sabine's nose, and how he got the two black things over his eyes. So even in them cards coming out, my babies are black and white. She's like, I don't know if like. Let's see. Hold on. Let's take it back.
Like similar. So I wonder if these like black and white stripes are meaningful in some way. I don't know.
That is funny to me.
Anyway, you have Skunk Spirit, which says know your worth, and Badger Spirit, which says be fearless and bold. That could be like a message for most of you when it comes down to having goals, creating goals for yourself. Make sure that you know what you are worth so that you are not settling for less or aiming for goals that are too easy. Make sure you're challenging yourself. Be fearless and bold, because I do see that success is there for you. I think you know that as well. It's just about being flexible and knowing that you're, as long as you're not, what's the word for it? Compromising your worth to have something, then it's okay to be flexible. Okay, it's about having those boundaries. I think is very important. Okay, let's carry on. Let's dive into your tarot here. I'm going to pull some cards for what's behind you and what's ahead of you. Two of Swords. In the past, you've probably had to make a very important decision. It might be still something that you're trying to make now. I don't know. But Two of Swords is about having to make a decision about something here. The Five of Wands.
That new job or that other job offer that I got, I had to make a decision, weigh it out. She ain't wrong. She not, hey, sweetheart. Be careful. I love you too, sweetie. You okay, sweetie? Okay, I'm gonna let y'all out in a little bit. Y'all was out there a good long while, not too long ago. Hey, sweetheart. Be good.
Sorry, had some conflict going on, competition in the past. We will clarify these. Let's get one more. The Ten of Swords. God damn. It feels like you had to really put an end to potentially kind of a chaotic or childish either relationship or an environment that you were around. It feels like you had to make a really difficult decision, a very serious decision to kind of walk away from something or call an ending to something. Because Two of Swords, I always say this is like a very big decision to make. It's like, if I choose this, I cannot have that thing, or if I choose the other one, then I have to let go of this. It's like either this or that. Okay. So with this coming up for you guys, in what's behind you, it does feel like you had to make a really difficult decision to come out of something that was a little bit never ending, whether it was a very chaotic relationship or friendship, where there's a lot of arguments, bickering, it's childlike behavior.
When she's talking about this, what's coming to my mind is that guy that I told y'all about. It started one way and then it took a sharp turn, which was fine with me, honestly. But yeah, but that it wasn't a hard decision to make, honestly. It was like, girl, please, I have other things I can be doing on my time, honestly. And it was Audi 5000. I went. It was giving Olivia, I'm about to business. Cause I can't take this shit no more. It's giving, I'm not about to go back and forth like Aaliyah with you. Because all you want to do is rock the boat. You get what I'm saying? That's all you want to do. So
I'm sensing a little bit of like, I don't know, competition, maybe? Like someone was competing with you. All right, clarify Two of Swords. The Five of Swords. Yeah, this is your decision, was to leave something behind. This was difficult for you. I always say that, like, there's a few, I mean, there is one meaning behind this card, and it's like, make sure that we're not doing things out of spite. But I think there's something that you were dealing with maybe someone who does things out of spite. I was kind of seeing, like, there's a phrase called tit for tat. Is that what it is? That's what I was hearing. It's almost like somebody who always had to get one up on you, or like, I don't know, like there's just that vibe. I don't get it. But anyway, that's the meaning behind the Five of Swords. It's kind of saying things to win the battle, but losing the war in the end. The Five of Swords, though, in this case, I'm almost seeing like, oh, for some of you, okay, I'm seeing another example, but the one thing I want to say is that either way, you had to take the Three of Swords with you, and the Three of Swords in tarot represents heartbreak and pain. So it was not an easy decision for you to make, whatever it was, to leave something behind. I think you might have been sitting on this decision for a while, and for some of you, not all of you, this decision was probably made for you because of somebody's actions. Like, I'm always seeing this was you, and then someone reacted a certain way, and you're like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to do this.
For the intensity she's talking about, I think that message is probably for someone else because, honey, not for me. It was not heartbreaking. It was not painful. And not even just even thinking above that person, like in these decisions that I've made to cut certain people off, to walk away from certain things, for me, it was not heartbreaking. I mean, to a point, maybe with my family situation, only because my mother wanted something different, but it don't matter about that. After a point when it went the way that it went, I was like, that's okay. That really and the way my mind goes is, and it's gonna have to be okay because I'm not here to change nobody's mind and to be mad because someone's not reacting the way that I think they should. It don't matter about that. Period. Everyone's making their own decisions. Cool. Like but it wasn't something I was crying about. And like, I'm in so much pain. So this part of the message is for someone else. Like at first, when it was a lighter thing where it was like, oh, some chaos, I'm like, it could have been that guy. But even that I have to think too much about it is showing me this part is probably more talking to somebody else in the audience. Because I'm not in that space, honestly, of being in no chaotic situation, arguing back and forth, heartbroken. So this part, I took a little bit of it just because I'm thinking about maybe that guy. But even that I have to think that shows it would be more clear to me. It wouldn't be like maybe the other things she was talking about, but she's still on point. But for someone else on that part, the other part she was talking about was like I knew what it right away. This part I'm like, nah, because honestly, where I'm at in my life is very like I'm looking for peace. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not doing none of that. It's You get what I'm saying? It's what it is. And if I gotta walk away, I'm walking away, and I feel okay about it.
Then, if that's how you're gonna be, that's the vibes I'm getting there. All right, let's go through the Five of Wands. Don't feel guilty, Scorpios. The fives here represent necessary changes. This did need to change. The moon here was not very healthy. Five of Wands.
Hell no. That's trifling. I would have cut his ass off too. Who does that? That wouldn't be okay with most people. But I have seen people who post like they in an argument, now they post the conversation on Instagram and shit. Like, to me, I'm like, okay. That type of thing, I don't have time for it. I'm not dealing with that. So and your boundaries do matter. And so I'm okay with you walked away from that. You said kind of like me getting fired from one job I was having issues with. Okay. Okay, I can see that. Because she did say the decision being made for you, but it's good that happened. So that was like, y'all was giving me a headache any fucking place. So I had to cut ties with a good duty of mine. I think oh, damn. So in your case, a 20 plus year relationship with someone, friendship with someone, I can see, especially if it's fresh and depending on how that went, I can see, but you see my point. So that message, I think, is more applying to y'all, like, to some, which is, so it shows me she's still on point because there are people in the audience that can relate. You said not heartbroken, but it was meant to be offensive. But she also said, what did she say? She said, did she say difficult, painful? She said some other word too. So maybe it's not necessarily like heartbreak, but it's like just a strong, like visceral response, like whether it was anger, because she said she was like suggest because they started to get heavier, and I'm like, nah, I'm checking out because that one guy, when that happened, it was like, okay, yeah, he showed me something, I made a decision, and but it wasn't something that was deep, painful, heartbreak. It was none of that. Like, I was like, girl, I'm never gonna see this man again. I'm okay with that. And when I came home, that was it. You said, child, I was ready to throw hands. It was weird and whack. Yeah, it's definitely an odd thing to do. I wouldn't be okay with that. I think the average person would not be okay with that. It's a violation across, like, on multiple levels. Like, first of all, what are you getting out of that? Especially if it's one of those things where, so, it's two things I want to say, and then I want to get back to this. I'm like, let me stop, because I know I'll go into a whole other thing, which is what I was about to do. And I do want to let her finish because she is making, like, even that she's clocking this part and y'all are resonating. I'm like, okay, I want to let it go, play through. You said I would in friendship too. I don't want friends that would do negative things. I would, right. But that's in general, like 20 plus year, 5 year, 1 year, 3 months. You're not gonna mishandle me or mistreat me. That's just how that has to be, because I'm not gonna do that to you. So it's either we on the same page with that thinking, and if we not, that's cool, but then I'm out. And I do not feel bad about that. Like, it don't be no pain, no nothing. Because if it's coming down to disrespect or like something that I can't handle, where it's like, you doing too much. You lying, you doing shit, you doing stupid shit. I just be checked out. That's what it is. Yeah, like, what's the point of that? What's the point of that? Okay.
Page of Cups, again, a little bit of immaturity, which is interesting because the King of Cups is here as well, which is telling me there was a little bit of an age gap or a big difference between your maturity levels, especially emotionally.
You know what? Something I just thought about. Now that when she said an age gap, that made me think, you know what? The guy before this guy, there was an age gap there. I think I told you about this guy. And he wasn't a bad guy, but it was just, we were headed in two different directions. And you need to experience and take things in and make decisions and figure that out, because that's something that we all have to do. No, it's not about, I'm like, it is. It's not, it is what it is. So it could be that. But even that wasn't tumultuous, and like, honestly, it really wasn't. He said it was jokes and giggles. I'm not a joke or a laughing matter, so you don't do that with someone. Yeah, agreed. You're not saying nothing wrong, so I agree with you for sure.
Coming up as the page. This is your card, Scorpio, anyways. You're coming up as the king. Maybe you tried to help them emotionally, but again, they kept going in circles about something. I don't know what your situation is. It clearly is quite specific. This could be in work situation. I don't know what this is to you. But again, this is just highlighting that this is quite immature behavior. This kind of looks like, this card does represent like childlike behavior, as I've already said.
The younger guy I was talking to was exactly, I'm 35, so he was 25 too. When I was 34, he was 24. But it was too young. Honestly, I don't know why that age range be coming towards me, but it don't, to me, that doesn't mean it couldn't happen, but it's just not something I'm looking for. In particular, when I can see you need to live, and that's okay. Like that's not a big deal to me because it's just life. I'm okay with that. But I need I'm wanting something that's. But then again, then people be your age and be just as stupid. So it really do be a toss up. It just depends. But because I'm like, okay, I really feel I'll be better off this way. Like it seems like a better fit. Then you get around a nigga that's your age and they be acting. I'm like, how old are you again? People are just stupid. I'm learning that part too. You have okay, let's say this. You have maybe a better chance of running into someone who has some type of brain, but generally the rule of thumb is humans are stupid. So young, old, just at every age, they can really be not that intellectual or not be able to have book or street smarts or just dumb. So it's just emotional intelligence, shot, don't know how to handle people. It's one thing if it's a spectrum and you're autistic or something like that. That's one thing. But these people don't have that. They're just assholes. You're just a bitch. You're just nasty. You just have a mean spirit. It's nothing to it. Oh, she's on the spectrum. No, she's not. She's using an excuse now. Is she clinical? Because, bitch, you just saying some shit now. Oh, I have Asperger's, bitch. No, you don't. You're lying. How so? Because what I saw is you just a little nasty ass bitch. That's what I just saw. So I'm not sure what these other girls are talking about. Because it's giving me Vlasic pickle in a jar with the pink sauce. Because at this job, I'll be saying all kind of things. I'm like, what is this? I saw the other day sardines smothered in tomato sauce and seasonings. Someone wanted like 6 of those. I was like, people, hey, everybody got their taste. Because some of the stuff, most of the stuff, I'm like, okay, some of it be interesting. Some of the stuff, I'm like, oh, this is a good suggestion. If I can remember this, I'll put this on my little shopping list at some point. But then other things be like, oh. And some of it don't even be, some of it just be like, oh, that's interesting. Like, they had somebody put in an order of frozen catfish nuggets. Or they're not, you got to put this, like, the season and the batter on it, but they're broken into like nuggets and they're not even regular. I'm like, somebody knows what this is and they love this. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for my catfish nuggets to come. You know what I'm saying? People, oh, there's another one. Some people, I've gotten orders where someone will order that thick slab of ham. Ugh. It's not even just because it's ham, it's just the way it be looking. But maybe it is because it's ham. But in real life, it be on that plastic and it be all airtight. And I'd be like, okay. Hey, sweetie. You said all pink. Yeah, you about to slice the ham? Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I haven't gotten an order of chitlins yet, even though we have those. I'm like, I can't believe nobody ordered chitlins. Because people really do be liking chitlins. Hey, AJ. Yeah, so, but anyway, let's get back to this reading, child.
That so someone based their decisions are based on their emotions, and I think they are not very emotionally mature. You are, though. I am seeing that you kind of learned to overcome that. Sorry. I always sit on my leg and it always hurts my knees. But anyway, yeah, you were dealing with someone who was very immature, but probably come and apologize. Like, I'm so sorry reacting like that, but it kept going on and on. Okay, so I think you did eventually have to make the decision, but for some of you, again, someone made it a bit easier in the end to make it. Not easy because you still had to go through pain, but someone almost like, I do think someone outside of yourself did something out of spite, and it's like, well, I have no choice now. I do have to go. All right, let's see the Ten of Swords.
Thank you, AJ.
The Four of Cups coming in. That's interesting. Maybe somebody acted unbothered. Or this could just be saying that you were over it, as her hoodie says here. Like sometimes this card is a card of rejection. So again, Ten of Swords, Four of Cups. It might have been a bit of rejection here, or you had to reject something. Or maybe someone reached out to you after this for an apology. Yeah, I feel like nodding at that. That's what it feels like for some of you. But you're over it. I think you've decided or did decide not to let that person back in. It does feel like they apologized or extended their heart out again or tried to offer you the cup of love, emotion, an emotional message.
That's for someone else.
Either you completely didn't even look at it.
I think that's for Boy Wonder, because probably that dude who put that text when he was like, why would you do that? And he was like, oh, it was a Kiki. He probably was thinking, what, you was gonna give him another chance? Did he think he was gonna get another chance after he did that? Because I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, nah. And I'm okay with that, because I would prefer not to have to, let's not revisit it. Let's not do that. Okay, let's see. Let's see what else she got to say.
Or you politely declined. Arms folded. I'm happy where I'm at, actually. Thanks. Anyway, let's see your current energy.
That is how I felt with that guy, though.
Two of Cups. Well, maybe you're in a new relationship with some of you. Two of Cups. You could be with an earth sign or something, like, because I feel like, I don't know why, I've never seen it like this before, but someone's on the water, someone's on the land. That could be like a water sign and earth sign.
I think I do well with earth signs. I would say through experience, Taurus. So I would say I know I do well with at least that earth sign. But I'm definitely not in those situations. So that's, again, something for someone else.
Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn relationship. Doesn't have to be, though. Two of Cups is having those good soulmates around you. Friendships, good people, colleagues. I don't know. These are soulmate connections, people who we really kind of trust and share our feelings with. So whoever this is, love, whatever, is clearly a good person around you now. So I think you made the right decision. All right. For Scorpio. Ooh, Three of Wands. Could be waiting for something here in your present moment. That explains the here and now card that we had earlier. Let's see. One more for Scorpio in the current energy this week. The Knight of Wands. This is a really good card for ambition and wanting to learn and do new things. It's a good card for like being quite spontaneous. I'm going to clarify these. I want to know what you're waiting for. What's the Three of Wands here for? Temperance. You're being asked to be patient. I mean, I'm just going to sit here and say it's exactly what I was saying with the here and now. You're being asked to do something in your current energy. Don't let your life waste away whilst you're waiting for something. Make sure that you are balancing yourself in the meantime. You're creating harmony in your present moment. You're creating good connections with people in the present moment, okay? Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. This current situation, maybe you're dating someone and you don't know where it's going, for example, but this is saying have patience. Don't focus outside of the now, okay? You could be working on improving yourself or whatever this temperance card is. It's like taking a bit of like a time out to balance yourself, to ground yourself, and then move forward. Or maybe you are working on something here, but definitely I'm asking what you're waiting for, and they're just saying, it doesn't matter. Scorpio just needs to be patient here. Scorpio needs to focus on the present moment. Let's look at the Two of Cups then. The Queen of Wands. Well, what? Oh, look at the Hierophant being there too. I mean, you could definitely be in a commitment with someone that may even lead to marriage here. But this is really just about you asserting confidence in your connections with people. Okay, I do like the energy that you come across as. Flirtatious and fun, positive, ambitious. I like your energy, being bold and caring. You're very caring. One more. You could be dealing with someone who's like that, to be honest. Let's get one more. What's this Two of Cups? Again, this could just be like a new friend, for example. Let's see. Why is the Two of Cups here in the current energy for Scorpio? The Fool card, which is about taking leaps of faith, and the King of Pentacles. There's two ways I want to say this. Like, I think a lot of you are making really good connections with people who might be able to help you. I mean, if this is a business partnership, which it very well could be with the Two of Cups, like it's just a really good exchange of energies and one that's very mutual. The King of Pentacles and the Fool, you could be taking a leap of faith in a connection with somebody, romantically, business-wise, friendship-wise, whatever. King of Pentacles can represent someone who is, wanting to invest in you, or someone who wants to commit long-term to you. So again, take it however it resonates. The Fool feels like, yeah, I feel like you'll go for it. This feels like a new journey, a new person. So, a new energy. Or just a new path for you, something that you've not really done before. I do like this though. I do like this energy. Again, in terms of business, this feels really good. Like you bring the ideas, someone brings the financial side. Like it feels like you guys are very different, clearly. But it feels like one is very grounded, one is very fiery, one is very optimistic, one's very realistic, not logical. It's different. This person's grounded. Anyway, let's carry on here. Let's look at the Knight of Wands for Scorpio, please. The Three of Wands. So some of you are really ready to get a plan going. I like this energy. Again, it feels like some of you could actually be creating a project or planning a foundation of something, whether you're creating a business, whether you are just wanting to do something new. This is a really good energy for collaborating with others, working with others, getting external opinions here. Most importantly, planning for something. Could be even just travel or movement of some kind, but it's something clearly optimistic about and wanting to dive into. But again, just remember that Spirit's asking for patience. Make sure that you are balanced. Good things take time is what I'm hearing. Okay, let's carry on. Let's see what else is going on for you and what's ahead of you, Scorpio. What's ahead of you? Near future, please. The Chariot, chasing the star. I like this energy. This is really about, some of you could again travel definitely with the Chariot. It's like leaving the city, going and exploring new places. But the Chariot again chases the star, and what the star represents in tarot is hopes, dreams, goals. So this is about becoming very determined and going straight after something. So don't worry about this time period where you are a little bit frustrated or needing to be patient, focusing on the present energy, the things that you're doing to work towards this future, this dream. You will have like the green light signal is what I'm hearing to really run ahead. And I do see the future. There's a lot of speed happening for you there. Let's get another one for you in the near future. Four of Pentacles. All right. This is where that flexible card comes in, because be careful of being too stubborn. Oh, and also be careful of rushing into anything. If you do that, it might cause a tower moment. It might cause you to have to go back on what you've done, like the hard work that you've been patient for. Okay, don't go rushing into anything, or don't do anything when you know you should be patient.
Like with this other job, I feel like if I would have rushed into that and been like, okay, let me let this go. I can't say for sure, but I'm thinking it was because my mom like, I just got this job. Let me see what this is about. I'm grateful that I got this offer, truly. Like that I was truly considered. I'm thinking I'll leave them a nice email like, I sincerely want to thank you for the opportunity. You know, I just started this other job and I really want to see if I can really work that and see what that does for me. Should anything change, I'd love to, you know, keep this conversation pending. Like I'd like for you to still keep me up for consideration should anything change, type of thing. But I just feel like, you know, I really do like this job. It's a job, and for what it is, I can do it. It's not something that's like impossible for me to do. And it's convenient. And in all honesty, especially with the check that I got yesterday, I'm like, so this is what my regular check is supposed to look like? Because I really had it in my mind, but I forgot. Like, yeah, when you work a job, depending on when you come, I guess, if we're on the pay cycle, you fall. I don't know. But I do remember my first check at Old Navy and Publix being smaller than the second ones. Although even with the second one, it still was not as much as this. So I was like, I was already content in my mind. Like I was like, oh, because when I got my first check, I thought, oh, I thought I'd have a little bit more than this, but I'll make it work. And then when the second check came, like I said, from that original amount, it was like nearly 2 times. I thought, so, okay, this I can definitely make work. I can make this work. If I'm smart, which I know that I am, and like she just said, don't rush into things. Just don't just start spending money. Like when you have to do something, fine. For my car, I decided, I was telling my ex, I was like, I'm gonna get it done, inshallah, in May at the top of the month. Because by then I'll have more than enough to, if I want to get brand new tires on my car, I could do that. Um, and take care of things and get my insurance and my registration and just take care of business. Um, but it's what she's saying, like really doing my best to be as smart as I can be, like as keen, as sharp, to really see it in real time, make the right investments in myself, in my home. You know what I'm saying? Like the opportunity, like it's just funny how at the time when that inspiration came to me, like, okay, you need to get a job. Then I applied. I never had no job come through this easy. And for the job at PetSmart, that was through a string I was got pulled was because my ex had a friend who worked in that industry, and she, I think, was a manager at a different location. So when her name was mentioned, it just, so that was still with other people's help. Publix that I do on my own, I think I did, but then I had that pervert. So with this though, everything was just different. My mindset was different. My reasons were different. And what's so crazy is I'm like, was I not working full time at Publix? Like, why was the money never this much? But I was like, wow, I'm just really, honestly, I'm just really grateful because I did it at the right time. Back to what she's saying, I did it at the right time. I made the decision at the right time. And as a result of me doing it at the time I did it, now I'll be in rotation. Going into the summer, coming back around into the, what is it, fall? I forget how it goes. What is it? Winter, spring, summer, fall. Yeah. So, and so forth and so on. Like, and I don't know. We'll see. God knows best. But because again, like she said about going too far into the future, I'm like, yeah, I've seen visions, but let me just focus on getting the part that I'm dealing with right. And inshallah, I take the right steps. That'll lead, certainly, I'll end up there. I'll get there. But I need to be here to get this part right so that whatever's coming then, I'll be ready for somehow.
Now, flexible in the Four of Pentacles. This is a little bit of a card of like, nope, I want to do it my way, and my way is the only way. Well, you're going to actually see if you stay like this, that you don't have any, you're not open enough for things to actually happen. Well, the Four of Pentacles, she wants to be in control of everything. She wants to hold and actually physically feel these things that she wants. In this case, money, pentacles. And therefore she doesn't have any room for anymore. So she cannot go to the Ten of Pentacles, that legacy, that stability. She's going to stay in this position because she's not open to trying things differently. So again, the flexible card is saying bend with the wind. All right. Make sure that you understand that life is about an exchange. You win some, you lose some. And not everything can be in your control. Okay. So when it comes down to situations coming away or going on a detour, make sure that you are aware that the path ahead, just because you're able to move forward and you get the green light doesn't mean that you are not going to experience blockages or a bit of a bumpy road. The balance of these sphinxes here represent the fact that you know that there will be challenges ahead, but you know how to handle it. Okay, you understand the bad and you also understand the good, and that the path ahead, you're prepared for them both. So the Four of Pentacles, make sure that we're not being too stubborn. I'm going to clarify that a bit later, but let's get one more for your near future. Six of Cups. All right. Interesting. You have the Five of Cups and a Tower here. Could be a little bit of nostalgia in the past. Could be a little bit of reminding yourself of maybe some disappointing moments. The Tower, separation, or something could be haunting you here. Let's carry on. Let's clarify each of them. Let's see the Chariot, please. The Wild card. So some of you could definitely be traveling the wild or moving. This is my card for moving as well. The Wild in the Chariot is really about new beginnings, and I think you're ready for it. I'm hearing roaring and ready. I think that's just saying, like, I really do like almost hear like a motorbike like revving it. You know, you are ready. I was gonna swear. It's clearly a lot of optimism from you and determination, which I love. This is just highlighting definitely a new beginning coming up for you. Four of Wands tried to come out there. I'm not really going to accept it, but that is about relationships or reaching a milestone. So let me just dive into this. It could be significant. I'll keep it in mind, but let's see. Why is the Four of Pentacles here for Scorpio? King of Cups, interesting, because we did have that as you. And the Ace of Cups, interesting. And the Ten of Pentacles. So your goal could definitely be what we were saying earlier. King of Cups, Ace of Cups, but you're a bit closed off. So that's quite interesting here because some of you might be a bit stubborn in relationships. I don't know why I'm seeing this. If you are in a relationship with someone, just know this person loves you, has a lot of love for you. It's okay to open up to them. It's okay to allow them to give to you. Some of you might not be very good at receiving or getting help from love interests or people around you. What other message can I get from this? Because some of you, of course, are not in relationships. Four of Pentacles, I mean, if you're not, there could be someone around you who's wanting to give to you, but you might be really focused on something else and feel like if you let go of this, then you can't, if you go towards this, you have to let go of what you've built. That's not true. Okay, again, be a bit flexible here. The goal is the same. But you will have Four Pentacles whether you hold on to them or not, but some of you might have a bit of trust issues. There is love here. This can even be from yourself. Some of you could be so focused on a goal and I'm not going to be happy until I get this thing. This King of Cups and the Ace of Cups could actually be you wanting to give yourself love, but you might be blocking yourself off a little bit from it. All right, might not be treating yourself the best because you're like, okay, I'm only going to give this to myself when I reach this goal. But you're not going to reach it if you're not also giving to yourself at the same time. Okay, there's just a little bit of that coming up for you. All right, and the Six of Cups. Page of Wands. Some of you are definitely going to hear from somebody. Like this came in and almost like slid this off the table here. Right, let's see one more. Six of Cups. Why is this here in the future? The Five of Pentacles. You could be hearing from someone where things were really left off in a really difficult way. The Five of Pentacles is like abandonment or some kind of loss. Feeling like this led to some kind of loss. Page of Wands, I mean, you could be hearing from this person because Page of Wands can sometimes be an announcement, some sort of communication. This could be an old friend. But the Page of Wands can also be a card of gossip. So I don't know. One more. Page of Wands, what is this? Or who is this, should I say? Page of Wands. Oh, the Ten of Swords and everything is fine. It clearly is that same past energy. This deck has two. Ten of Swords. This person's not changed if that's what you want to hear. Like, I feel like this person's a bit in denial about maybe what they've done. This person could be reaching out and it's giving you a little bit of flashbacks here. Can I just see what the everything is fine card is about? Like, just so I can understand what this is. Why is this here with the Page of Wands? All right, one more. Everything is fine. Ten of Swords. Justice. Libran energy. All right. This is about bringing balance to a situation here. I feel like maybe the both of you ended up feeling this way, or maybe this person now understands how you feel. Or, again, I don't know if they're in denial, but the Justice card here is really about like things are out in the open now. Things will be made fair. This is like a karmic situation. A lesson is to be learnt here. I wouldn't say to open yourself up to this, but the Justice is really about bringing something into balance and having some fairness in the situation here. Libran energy.
Let's
Okay.
see. Hopefully for us all too. And thank you for coming through.
Do
I
I want to get one
appreciate
more for
it.
that? I'm a little bit confused. You have 3 cups of the lovers, so can you just tell me one more thing about this energy? The 9 of Swords and this 3 of Cups is still there. It feels like with the 9, I mean, the 9 of Swords is like, not being able to sleep, being kept up at night. This feels like this person, unless this is how it's going to make you feel, it feels like more of this person is probably like really thinking about the situation, which could be why they understand how you feel. I don't know. For some of you, that could be the case, but more of a sense of like, this is really affecting them now. So I think you closed it off in the past. They're now closing it off in the future. Don't know. It's interesting how theirs says everything is fine. It's a little bit about being in denial about the situation that they're in or what actually happened. I don't know. But something has been haunting them. So I do think that they're going to bring something up here. Interesting. Well, let me know how that goes, Scorpio. But that's what I have for you. I wish you guys all the best. I send you my love. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Make sure you like and subscribe if you would like to see more of these. And make sure that you come back next time. All right.
All right. Okay. Towards the middle and end, when she started talking more about like kind of like relationships and all that, that wasn't really resonating with me because that's not where I'm at. But again, there are some people in the audience that are going to relate. Now, let me see. You said I got to go back and read because I saw there was a lot of stuff I missed, but I really wanted to focus in on what she was saying. But let me say, you don't tell the left hand what the left hand is, or I think I know what you mean. Pick the job that you like most and see if you can do both. I'm one of those people who work. Oh yeah, nah, I'm not gonna work both. The money, the idea of the money is cool, but my time and just I don't need to be like swimming in money. I'd like to have some, invest some, put some in savings, like do some shit, and then like take care of some things, and then do some substantial things for myself. Like I don't want to say small things because even though those shirts and then that little outfit were not expensive, it still wasn't a little thing because I really like those shirts, and they to me they're still, because for the quality, in my opinion, that price, I'm like, you charging for this nice ass shirt $16 and like maybe 16.99, so $17 and whatever the tax. So it's not about the price. It's more about like I really love this shirt and I'm gonna hopefully get some good wears out of it and making enough to just support myself, take care, like all of it I just said, take care of some things, take care of the bills, savings, blah, get on my credit. Like I have some things I want to take care of, and these things take time, and that they don't happen overnight. So I have to, back to what she was saying, the part resonated with her about the patience, which I feel like I've been exhibiting, because I'm not okay. We went this long without having the resources we need. We can, especially now we're getting, like I'm talking to myself, like we're getting paid. to do this and you know how to do it and blah blah blah. Yeah. So it's just a matter about being patient and being smart with how I'm handling this money and just understanding this really is an opportunity for me to turn things in the direction I want them to be in and be able to be the artist I really deserve to be and be able to create in a peaceful environment where I'm not like, oh, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? And it's an opportunity. So that's how I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? And for all these crazy people, y'all talking about the kind of like, wow, I need to do something where we do like, well, there's a term for it, but I don't know what it's called. But like when we say they can be anonymous or like have a name to it, but it'll make a difference to me. But where we basically read the situation and weigh in, give thoughts on it. But I'd like for them to be real questions. They, like I said, they can be anonymous too. I think that's something I can do that I would enjoy doing. I cannot believe I like an adult, but this type of adult where I'm like, I never saw this for myself. Not because it was negative, but just because it just seemed like something I wouldn't be able to do, honestly. I remember when I used to see my mother pay bills in the kitchen and she would have her glasses on. And I would always think in my head, like, how does she know even what she's looking at? It just seemed like so much. But my mother did it old school. Like she had books and kept all her bills together, kept receipts for like. So but she knew what she was looking at. I'm looking at it like I don't. She'd be like, oh, this is a write off. This is a write off. Anything she bought for school supplies, she uses as a write off. Since a lot of the teachers have to buy their own supplies, but that's also a tax write off. So I haven't gotten that far. Now I think I'm like, I'm going to this job. I'm having to manage a household, manage other people in this house, get things done. Just the mentality that I have now. It's weird because it's like it's still me. It's still me. It just feels like it's me, and a big difference that I can see to a point, but that I haven't fully. It's like I can see it because I'm doing it, but I'm like, I don't know how to explain what I'm thinking. It's like I am really doing this. My car about to be up running. And then I'm thinking to myself, and bitch, your car is paid off. And you wasn't one of those girls that was like, oh, my car's paid off. Let me trade it in for a newer model. And yeah, because you traded it in, they knocked some off. But now you back to paying a car note off of what, $15,000-$20,000? I'm like, girl, to hell. You know what I'm saying? It's like I remember my mindset when I had the car note, everything. I'm like, how am I gonna be? Will I ever be like debt free? I'm like, this car seemed like it's taking forever. And I almost gave it up and tried to sell it, but that won't happen again. When I was gonna sell it though was because I was like, regardless of what happened, I need to figure out how I can get some money so I can save my house. Like if I don't have tenants and if I can't get a job. And it was almost like God, I went through the stages. I went on Carvana, I went through CarMax. And it was almost like God wanted to see. It was giving me Abraham, not to that extreme, but to that point. Like I'm not gonna let you sell your car, but I just want to see if you were willing to do it to honor your promise. So now that I saw that you really went to see how much you can get for the car and you were willing to let it go, even though it was paid off. What you didn't know is I have a job waiting for you. The job that you wanted, that you put in a request, like the fact that my number one and number two contacted me, but my number one contacted me first, thankfully. And because then it may have been the same thing if I would have went to that second location. Like, what if I would have got there and like those people? Then it would have been like, oh, this first option that might be better came. Like, I'm just glad that the one I wanted first came first. But the point is, it was like boom, right? I got the job. Then right behind that, then I got another tenant. It was like an injection into the economy that now I definitely need my car, and I didn't have to get rid of it. In fact, now I have enough money to get it back up and running. Now I done washed it off. I didn't detail the inside. I still need to get one of them car vacs because there is for every place. There's just nothing I can do about that naturally. But I washed her, I detailed her, and I'm like, I can't believe. And my mother, I could hear her in the back of my mind. She was like, Quadir, do not get rid of your car. That's what she told me. Because before even she got sick and I was thinking about it, she's like, do not get rid of your car, Quadir. Like, but mommy, I don't hardly even drive my car no more. I go to the grocery store, I come home. That's pretty much the only place I drive. Like, why would I keep paying insurance every month, a car note every month? That could be in my pocket. Keep your car there. You don't know when you're going to need that car. You may decide you need to get something like a painting, a mirror. She didn't say that, but I knew that's what she meant. Like, you may need that car for something, and then you won't have it. Keep your car. So when it came down to, like, I kept it. Even when I stopped driving, I still kept it. It was in the driveway. And then when it got to the part where it was like, I felt there was a reason. I knew it was paid off. I'm like, I wouldn't have to go through no other channels. I mean, I would just have to, like, I guess, sign it over. So I'm like, and now there's a reason. Before I wanted to get rid of it because it was a burden. Now there's a reason for me to get rid of it, to like have the money to like honor my promise and keep my home. And so I went through the stages, and like I said, they both said no. Reason why was because they were saying, we can only take a car that you can get, that you can drive to us. If it's not driving, then we can't take it. And it's really their loss because all it needed was a new battery. And I'm sure some of the standard things like new oil, fresh tank of gas, some new tires, and there might be a thing here or there like that we can do, but she really didn't require nothing major. But I'm glad I didn't know that, and I'm glad that they rejected the offer because now I do need my car to get back and forth to work. A job that is allowing for me to even deal with this car and be able to handle some things, especially if I can get 2 of those checks out the month. Plus, then you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, no, I can really handle things and like it won't be so hard. For the sacrifice of having to wake up early in the morning, 4 a.m., and actually have to go to work and do it, I'm like, and I be talking to myself like, when I'm doing the job, I'm like, I'm grateful to have this job. When I be feeling tired or if I be yawning, I'm like, you're yawning because you're tired, and that's just a natural effect because you are tired. But I'm still grateful to have this job. Like, I'm still happy to have this job because it's going to allow me to do so much and take care of things that I need to really take care of. Whereas before it was like I was getting through with the seeds, with the one tenant, with what I was getting on Patreon, but it was like just barely. And it would be like, okay, I know. And it would be like, okay. It's like I knew without me having the actual income, I knew it would have to be like, okay, if I'm not going to do the tenants, if I'm not looking for work, I have to 100% put like hyperdrive focus into this. That's how this started. Like, this all came around when I was really focusing on like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. But then everything just started kind of clicking. And I was like, okay. And I thought, well, I can't, I'm trying to figure out how I want to sit down and focus. Like when I come off, because when I come off from work, then I'd be like, I'd be having a certain level of energy, but then I'm like, okay, I want to just like relax a little bit. I'm like getting up from when the sky was dark. And then like, cause hold on a second, y'all. Hello? Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay. All right. Got you. Okay, well, let me check that out because I thought there was an email that I responded to. I'm not sure if that was the one that it seems like that. I'm guessing that's not the one that you're asking about because yeah, gotcha. Right. Got you. Got you. Got you. Fair. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I apologize because I thought that I had done that or whatever it was that was required, but I'm like, okay, no, that's clearly not what happened. All right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, I'll absolutely do that today then. Absolutely. All right. See, some then stuff like that happens. I'm like, Allah. Hold on, let me get back to the screen. I couldn't. First of all, I'm high. I'm live. I couldn't really respond the way I really wanted to, but I just don't want to start over because now I'm in a cycle with them, and I know I can make it here. Like I said, I know the job. It's easy enough. I may not like every single coworker, but that's not a big deal. And I like majority of them. So, and I get in early, I leave early. With this, the one thing I can say for sure is they have a much better like LGBT situation. And talking with her on the phone just then, she seems very upbeat, very like excited to bring me on. But that's making me, it's a little bit different because she didn't interview me directly like this other woman did. Because that's what I was explaining before when I was like, okay, so she interviewed me and she was nice. Now when I see her, it'd be like I said, I can live with it because I'm there to get a check. Like my mentality is, I'm not like, I don't really care what she thinks about me, honestly, because now I have the job. Now, what I have said to myself is if it ever gets to a point where she does something that's retaliatory or like discriminating against me, in the same way how I have changed and I'm different, it'll just be a nice, well written letter to HR where I'm explaining I love my job, I love my coworkers, I love the culture. This is what I'm enduring. No, now that like, but that goes for anyone. If that ever were to become a thing where it's like some kind of weird energy workplace harassment type of, I'm like, girl, I'm just gonna write a nice letter. That's all I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna stay on top of it. Now, if corporate turns a blind eye, now that's a whole other thing. Now we skip to our Lou to what they call a good old fashioned attorney. And now we're going to get a real check real fast. But I'm not gonna. argue with these girls. But my point is, okay, but this lady, so with this other job, okay, they did it different. I never did a job interview like this. What they did was I did it from home. It's like you're speaking to a virtual person. I mean, she's real, but it's pre-recorded, I'm guessing. And so they give you a certain amount of time to answer it, and you just answer the question. And the truth was, yeah, girl, then we taking it to trial, Miss Thing. Cause I'm not gonna you get what I'm saying? Like now, see, I've grown in a lot of ways. I know how to move different than what I did. There may be it's like that homeless guy was different because now I may have been in direct immediate danger. But even that I keep to a minimum. Where it really is at is I don't want a lawsuit. Just be fair with me and let's just keep it copacetic. You don't even have to like me. Really. Let's just keep doing what we've been doing. We do that. What am I complaining about? So, but with her, okay, so I did okay, so how the interview goes. So you're answering these questions, but they're recorded for them to watch later, I guess. So then she called me. And when from that first phone call to even this one, I'm like, but again, rushing into things. And I'm like, I'm in a pay cycle now. If I start with y'all, I'm going to have to shrink back down to that first check and then get in rotation like how I am now at this place. The benefits are great at this place. They have great benefits. I haven't heard conversation about the benefits with this girl and what her care packages are. What are those discounts? But for sure, it's not far away, but it ain't up the street like where I'm currently working. See? And she may come talking, oh, can we get you in at 10 a.m. and you stay till like 4? That's not bad. But now I'm used to getting there early in the morning, like 5 a.m. And then I get to be up out of there by 12. Sometimes they'll put me till 2, but when they don't, I'm not complaining. You understand? It's like I get in there, I do my job, I do my best, and then I get to leave early. But what if they come telling me something else? It's not, I'm like, yeah, I could sleep in later, but do I, maybe I do need to sleep, but do I? I don't know. And then maybe I would just get used to it. You know what I'm saying? Like how I got used to it here. Like, oh, I'm like, I just got this other job. I'm just thinking like, first, I went from like never couldn't get no job. McDonald's didn't want me. Dairy Queen didn't want me. Chick-fil-A was always brand new. She was always bougie. I'm like, y'all are crazy up in here. Got me looking so crazy right now. You bitches are crazy and insane. You wanna know how I know? Because I can work at Chick-fil-A. You really think I can't do this? Now I know you've totally lost it. You're mad. I can see that now. But because I kept getting told no over so long, then you really start to thinking like, wow, if I really could just get this job at McDonald's. My mom used to be like, you had like, she used to really believe, and it's not that she was wrong. It's just, again, some of it is just you have to live, and because the point is those lessons are still with me, but now I know how to take them different. But she used to tell me like, why do you keep thinking you have to get a job at McDonald's? Why do you keep thinking that? Why do you keep thinking you have to have a job from any of these people? You can be an entrepreneur. You can work for yourself. You have a talent. You just got to figure out how to make it. Like she was on that, and she wasn't wrong. But at that time, I'm like, no, mommy, you don't understand. First, I need a job. That used to be one of our things we would like have spirited debates about, because she really felt like, no, you don't. Because first of all, you live in here. So I'm taking care. I'll do this if you focus on your art. Like, but I'm like, but how can I make it work if I don't have the equipment? Mommy, I need money. Like you're giving me the time and the space, but I still don't have you don't have the budget to put down. You put down what you could, but I need other things. So but she felt like, no, you can make it work. Like, I'm like, you're not wrong. I got to as far as I got, but ultimately it's like you need things. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, what's coming first? Because You need certain things, but then you need money to get those things. So how you gonna get to the money? Because you can inch by inch by inch by inch, and then you gotta hope that don't nothing happen in between time. Because now one little thing happened, and all them inches you done put together for all that little bit of cash that you had for this one thing now got to go to something else. So that means 8 months are gone. See what I'm saying? Like, it's just, she wasn't wrong either. Like, if I would have had a different type of mind that could have focused more on the clerical stuff, like the business, like, okay, business, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to trademark, we got all that other stuff that other girls are very good at, that would have probably changed. But ain't no point. It didn't happen that way. The point is now I'm at a point where I still need direction, I still need help, but I'm having more of a foundation that allows for me to breathe some and to have to be able to take those steps and confidence the way, like, I was taking them regardless. But even when it was like, I don't know how we're gonna do this, it was like I was taking the step, but that thought of, when I take this next step, will I just go tumbling into the abyss, or will the next step be waiting? Because either way, I have to go forward, because guess what? When I turn around, them steps are falling apart too. So it's either it's either these old steps are going to catch up until you just fall through, because you just got scared not knowing if the next step was coming. So you just stood there and then the fucking shit fell apart. Or you just got to keep stepping and praying that, now I didn't took 30 steps out here on faith and I didn't fall through. I can take 30 more and get to the other side. And then once you get to the other side, you can turn around and understand, wow, the faith it took to really step out like that into something like that across it's what you really didn't know. You had an understanding and a belief and a faith that it would be something waiting when you took that next step, but really you didn't know how that step was going to come, how it was going to look. Was it going to glow? Would it just look like there was nothing there and it would be clear and I would just have to step and be, you didn't know how it was going to come, but you just knew that it would be there somehow. Then you get to the other side on solid ground that you can see, feel, and touch, and realize, okay. And sometimes that takes a breather, because then you have to remember what the thoughts that you were thinking, like, it be flashing in your mind, and it don't be negative, because it builds your character. It builds you up, really, even if you were scared when you did it. But when you really get to the other side and you really realize you did it, even when it flashed your mind, you be thinking, wow, like, and it'd be adrenaline. The more you think on that, the more you start to realize, I really did do that. Like, it starts to sink in what it took with you and God to really do that together, and how only you could have made you do that. Like, it was maybe other people were on the other side of that cheering you on, but on this type of bridge I'm talking about, it's one of those, like, only one person can go across this bridge, this particular bridge. So those people who was cheering for you are not going to be on the other side. Through spirit, you know what time it is that they're rooting for you to keep it going. But when you realize that ultimately, although they were cheering you on through spirit, through, like, maybe they were on location and just whatever, I'm just, for the example that I'm seeing in my mind, the reality is, through all that cheering, it was you that had to move those legs in accordance to what God was putting forward with in those steps that you get what I'm saying, that was needed from A to B. So by the time you took that journey on that bridge, that's when it was just you and God. Even with them other people being there and all those other positive energies, God willing, that are there rooting you on to get to the other side of that. And when you get there, that's the joy. Because now it's like you still have stuff to do, but you can do it on solid ground now. There's the difference. Now you can do it on solid ground. Hold on, let me scroll. We doing something different, Silver. We doing it different this time around. He said, yeah, trust me, an early shift across the city is not it, especially if the other job is down the road. That's what I'm saying. And here's the thing, though. The other place is not like it's, oh my God. I would say I'm bad with stuff like this. What? Maybe 10 miles? That might even be overselling it. Maybe 8 or 7. It's not far. But it's just no comparison to this other job that I can literally, once I get onto the road, I don't have to make no turns until I get to the job. I literally can just go straight and just cruise through with no traffic early in the morning. And I don't have to get on the highway. You see? You see? That's what I'm saying. Like, you see? But when the lady called me, I'm so long-winded. When the lady called me just now from the other job, she seemed so like, oh, you didn't with the off. She was so nice, seemed so sweet. Like, oh, I'm like, oh. Now I'm feeling like, can I really work 2 jobs? Only just so I can see. Is there something you need me to see at this other location? I don't know. I don't want to work 2 jobs though. I would literally only do that just to see what God was trying to explain. And then that check would just be an extra check. But then I feel like I'll never get to see my babies. That's important to me too. That's a part of also my mental health, having my animals. And actually, me being around is a part of their mental health too. So how would I be able to do that? It's just, but she was like, oh yeah, no, it happens, if you have any question, like, see, when I feel like the thing that's so crazy, see, there's people, that's what I'm saying. It's like, because I'm like, just through her spirit over the phone made me feel like, I like your energy, but it's, how can I do it? Because I like this job. I might that job too, but do I want to be working there all day? Especially, how can I do 2 full-time jobs? How can that even be possible? Unless, like, would they allow for me to do part-time? I need to make a decision. Because first I was feeling like, no, I'm not going to go. Because the thing is on the 16th. I'm like, okay, no, I'm not going to go. Because okay. I'm like, where's Anais? I'm like, at first I wasn't going to go. It's like, it's not an interview. I have the job. This is just like me coming for it. I'm like, how do I go from struggling to get a job to, first, when I made the decision that I was going to get a job, I applied. Maybe it took a month. Like, I had reached out to some friends too, like, hey, I'm looking for employment. If you know anything, da 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 da, to a few people. But in my mind, I'm like, but if I can get this job up the street, that would actually be perfect, because it don't have to be no corporate. I'm making $25 an hour. I just need enough to stabilize me, and that I can have flexibility to do things and have freedom and da 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 da. So, but I'd say from the time that I made the decision, like, okay, we're gonna look for work. I applied to a handful of jobs. Then when I wasn't hearing nothing, I was like, okay, the month is coming to a close. I may not have a tenant, plus I'm not gonna have a job. That means it'll all have to come from just Cash App, my art, and my mom. And it's just impossible. Something's gonna fall behind. So within that time, that's when I looked to sell my car and got rejected from both the locations. And then in the last few days, it was like, oh, someone wants to come and see your house. Oh, hey, it's Walmart. Like, we want you to come in for an interview. I'm like, really? Because that's another part. In that last week or however long it was, because it was like I was moving fast. I was just like, okay, I applied for the job. I'm not hearing back, even though it hadn't even been a full month at that point. But as the weeks, I was still conscious, like, okay, once 1 week go by, we only have 3 more left. I'm like, okay, now a second week, I only have 2 weeks. Like I'm counting down. So I'm like, now I'm like, okay, if you, I thought you wanted to get a job. I'm talking to God now. I thought you wanted me to get a job because I felt that inspiration, but I'm not hearing back from nobody. And I'm not going through that thing I went through when I was a teenager, where it's like I'm going to all these places where I know I should be able to get a job, but I'm not getting no responses. I'm like, if you, it's I did it. I applied. I told you what I wanted as far as what I felt, and I gave you my reasons. That's another part. When I was talking with God, when I was talking about why I felt this other job, the one that I have, would be the number one, I told the reasons. I said because it's close. Because if something ever happened where I need to get home, I can get home fast. Like that to me, that was the number one actually selling point. Was the be careful, sweetheart. She was trying to get on the little couch. That actually is the number one selling point. Was the convenience. I didn't want nothing super far away. Or even like moderately far. Because another part was at that point I wasn't sure about my car. And look how that happened. My sister was at a Jiffy Lube, and then it was just the whole way that happened. By that happening is what started me on the path of, okay, let me see what's going on with my car. Had she never would have went there, it would have been on my mind to get my, because it's been on my mind, but I may have delayed it longer because I would be thinking, oh, it's going to be something wrong. Like, because I haven't driven in all these years and it's just been sitting, something's going to be very wrong. But then come to find out, it really wasn't. But that all happened because my sister went to that Jiffy Lube. And so it's just, so it's like now, and it's happening at the right time. Now I really will need that car. And it's just a very good setup. But then, that happened. And now I've been working this job maybe coming up on a month. And now this job is calling me, which was my number 2. But I'm saying, if they never would have called me, I would have been okay. Not because I feel no negativity, but just because I was okay with where I was. I didn't feel like, oh, I can be doing something better than this. I felt, no, this is an important job because I even utilize this service. So now I'm just on the other side of that. I'm like, so no, this is, and it's a good job. It's a real job. And I didn't feel like I needed, like once I got the number one place that I wanted, I felt if none of them other places call me back, I'm okay. Because this is literally what I wanted. So, but now that they have called me, I'm like, what is the reason you having them call me? Because are you want me to think about it, or just to know that I can get callbacks, or to actually try to do these at the same time? Because that was never my plan. I never had a desire, oh, I want to work 2. Like I knew one job full time would be enough for me. Especially if I continue the tenantship, or whatever you want to call it, having tenants. If I continue both, if I had a full-time job on top of that, I knew I wouldn't need 2 jobs. So I never thought about it. But now here they come calling, and I appreciate, she seems, but like I said, that lady who interviewed me at the job I currently have, she was one way, and then when I got the job, her energy was different. But no matter, I don't care about that. But with this, so I'm like, why? Is it, what do you, because then I don't want to turn it down too fast, and then it'd be like, maybe there was a reason they came through. So, but I don't want to waste their time either if I don't have any intention of taking the job. So I'm like, because she seems real sweet on the phone. You said, oh shit, how far up did I go? Hold on, let me see. You said, damn, I'm so far behind. You said, Jasmine, forgive the delay, honey. You know how I do. I have an interview today. Alhamdulillah, knock on wood. So I've been working, doing Uber and DoorDash for income. You did what you had to do. See, I couldn't do DoorDash or Uber. I thought about it though, but the reason why I can't is because I don't like driving enough. I'd be grateful I could drive myself, but I don't even. Like, I'd be like, okay, I have to prepare my mind for me to even do that. So I ain't trying to like, what if the order takes me some place? I'm like, girl, like little by little as I'm taking orders, I'm like, it's taking me further out. Like, bitch, I'm damn near Alabama now. How'd I get out here? So for me, if I like driving more, then it will be a perfect job for me. See, that's what I'm saying. Like with my job, it suits my need to like be moving around and doing something because I'm constantly having so I like when it has me all across the store and just I like that. But if I knew that I was a person who was relaxed driving and like I could just put some music on and just be literally picking up people food and dropping it off, and it was I didn't have no girl, then that would have been something I definitely would have done. Hmm. He's like, you now that the car's up and running, have you thought about Uber Eats? Oh yeah, well I guess that just answered that question. Yeah, nah, I wouldn't do it, but not because there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I don't like driving enough. Like to pick up my own takeout, I would have to be like, okay, girl, let me get into my right mind. Drive down the street and pick up this takeout. I would. So now I got to do it as a job. No, definitely not. I've been having so much fun with my baby since I got right. That's what I'm saying. Like, so having time, like that time that I spend with my animals is important for me too. You get what I'm saying? So taking two jobs, I would never be home. Because okay, I would start in the morning, end at Walmart in the early afternoon. Then let's just say if the other job was like from 2 to what would that be? What would that be? That would be like 2 to 8. I'm just making something up because I really don't know how that goes. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Like keeping my peace in moments like that. Okay, let me see. You said doing Uber Eats. I had 1,100 in 2 weeks. Wow. That's what I'm saying. There is money to be made. There's money to be made for sure, especially if you don't mind driving. Like that's an amazing because people are constantly ordering late night at really at any point in the day. Breakfast, brunch. He greatly improved my quality. Right. You talking about the babies, right? Like your baby. I think that's what you're talking about. So Uber Eats is an elite side hustle if you're willing to put exactly. I agree. I agree with that. And they want need us around. Agreed. You said well rested to be able to give them the attention. Right. And if I'm working two jobs, I just like and I'm just getting adjusted to working this first one. I don't want to jump off the boat and think I'm trying to do two jobs or even to it was already a shock to my system that I had to like push through to be like, okay, that first day waking up at 4 in the morning. I had everything organized, so I was able to just like move through it. But getting used to that, and then getting used to the job itself and the culture, how what it is back there. Now I don't feel like starting over. Unless really it would have to really be a sign from God. Like, show me if you really want me. Because to me, it seems like it's more like an either or situation. To try to take both, I don't see how that would be possible for me, honestly. And one job, the money I make from that one job, when I saw my check from yesterday, I was happy with that. I wasn't like, why isn't it more? I'm like, this every 2 weeks I can do. So I'm not like unhappy where I'm at. And it's convenient. Like, why did they have to call me? Because now I don't even want to have to think about that. Honestly, like, wow. But that's what I keep bringing up. Isn't that crazy? I went from, bitch, I couldn't get a call from nobody. Now, like, in this little bit of time, I like, I'm grateful. Because here's the thing, the feeling of having like an option, like, I could do this, I could do that. That's cool. But in all honesty, I just, what would be the point of starting a job, getting, now you used to everything. You're understanding the system. You know how to sign in. Because at first, when I first got there, I had to pull my phone out and like remember my code. Now I remember my code. I know I can do the work. It's not complicated. They're not asking me to do nothing crazy. It's not a bad problem to have. It's just I want to make the right decision whatever I decide. Like, and if I go to that email and click accept, like, what's the point of me gonna do that? Like, I really need to know, what am I trying to do here? Because she was like, we need to get once you accept it, then we can do the background check. I'm like, oh, I thought I did that. Like in that email I responded, she was like, no, that was like my personal email. So I'm like, I wonder if I can write her in her personal email, like, listen, maybe can we try me as like part, I don't even know if I want to do that. I don't want to lose any more like time with my babies. I feel like what I really want to do is be like, I just, what I said from the very beginning, which is, I'm so grateful that you really considered me for this job, truly. And I mean that, like, because it used to be so hard. But, I'm working this job. I just got there and they've taken the time to train me. It was basic, but still, like, I just feel like I want to give this a chance and not feel like I went here, then I jumped here. Because in general, even though it will be like going from one job to the next, I feel like I want to just stick with one job for a while because normally that's how I am. Like, not even jumping from one job to the next, but just when they try it, bitch, I'm gone. I have to stay here. Or if they fired me, cool. Or I just left. But this time, I just have a different mindset and I'm thinking, you know what? For what I'm trying to do, this is the right time to do this, especially if the circumstance. And I remember when I went to Job Corps, I explained that, like, why I wanted to stay out of state, because I know me. I know certain things about myself. And I'm like, if I'm out of state, then I'll be more, if I'm out of state and I'm on campus where I can wake up and walk to school and I can wake up and go to the trade, and you telling me all the mills, like, so all I have to really do is focus on achieving these things, and in between, like, and then like, the circumstance was right for a person like me. But when I was in traditional high school, when I had to wake up in the morning, catch two buses, a train and another bus, I'm like, girl, I got time for all that. So then it was just made it easy as I fell behind to just slowly fade out of high school, because I was like, at that point, towards the end, I was dealing with that record label, and I'm like, I'm really living my dream, and really, I don't necessarily have to go to high school. But then my mom was like, Quadir, at least. Like she was very passionate. She convinced me. I'm like, okay, fine. But we got to find an alternative route that I can take that um that will be suitable for my mindset, because I can't be riding on all these trains and buses just to get to school, someplace that I'm not even that excited to be at. And then I got to go through all this trouble to get here. So we landed on Job Corps, but I knew, okay, so all those other things, what I just said, being on campus. But why I want to be on campus and here in Atlanta was because it would still be too easy for me to quit. I'm like, okay, if I have to catch a plane out there and and actually pack and do all these things, then I'm not coming back on the plane until, or if that's how I was gonna come back is what I'm thinking, until I have what I came here for. And I knew that would be true for me, and it was. And I got it done quickly. Got my high school diploma and the trade, even though that trade was worthless, but still I have it as an achievement. I wish I would have, no, I don't. Because like I said, that would have, who knows where that would have taken me, because I probably would have been making some good money, but I just, who knows how that would have gone. Could have gone well, but we'll never know. But I started to say, like, oh, I could have did something like in masonry or paint or plumbing or in the medical field. Could have, didn't do that. So ain't no point in dwelling on it. But where I'm at right now, I feel like it's that same energy from Job Corps, where it's like the circumstances are right with this job. Like, it's not too far. The shift is great. The coworkers are overall not bad. There's a certain level of teamwork, but mainly it's you're on your own to just do your orders. So you still get to like be in your own energy. So it's like it's the right circumstance for me to work a job and be able to stick with it, because it's not inconvenient and annoying. Is that, if that makes sense? You said, I learned when it comes to job searching, it's okay to pass or say no because I went through new opportunities. You said I went through new opportunities to come available. I, I, sure, I hate the driving part. That's why I'm looking for. Oh, see, so you making good money, but you don't enjoy driving. So that's where it's a downfall. Because, see, with this job, it suits my personality, so I actually enjoy it. Like, for what it is, it's simple, but in my mind, I connect it to the things that I like to do anyway, which is to be like a certain level of active. I'm okay. This item, that item. Oh, I like, and just the things that keep me stimulated. So I don't mind it. So that's why I'll stick with it. But if it came down to me doing Uber Eats, even if I was making that money, I still wouldn't stick with it, because I know me. If I'm doing something where I'm anxious the whole time, even at that check would be like, wow, that's some good money. But that part would not outweigh the fact that I would still be thinking. But every time I cut this thing on and it'd be clicking, I'd be anxious. Where's it gonna take me? Where's this order gonna come from? What's the traffic like over there? Like, I don't feel like thinking like that. I want to learn. Oh, bartending. That could be fun, especially if you get put to a cute location, like in a swanky hotel where it's like cute. And then you might meet some influential girls too. Go to the right restaurant, right bar, right location. I don't think anyone's ever asked this, but if they did, my apologies. Are you a indica hybrid or sativa girl? You know what, Emilio? That question has come up before, but it's not a problem. And when the question came up, it was more so, was it indica or sativa? Nobody ever threw in that hybrid. But what I would say is, in all honesty, I don't mind. I would say if I had to pick one, I would say sativa, because I like to be, you know. That may change though, like as depends, like because then indica too, on a time where you just want to be chill and just relax, maybe even go to sleep. Who knows? That might be the move. But in all truth and fairness, I like them all. I don't know that I had a complaint, like I was upset about it. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit. Let's see. And he said started it at a dispensary and never really cared about the difference before now. Learning a lot. Wow. Like are you trying the different, like, okay, let me try this. Let me try this one. Let me clear it out. Like, don't, not at the same time, but like, okay, this is gonna be one session. Let me see how it is. Okay, now let me come back around and try this one, see what's going on. Then let me come to this third option and see. So that way too, you could better help the customer. If like, not like where the girls be doing in the movies where they be dipping into the product and like smoking up all the product and now it's no product to sell. You said quite. Have you seen? I've heard about that. I know it's making a lot of buzz, but no, I have not seen it. I know it's something about what Nickelodeon, and actually, where I heard more about it was through. Was that the wind chimes? I thought I heard something. I think that might have been the wind chimes. Um, how I heard more about it was through Raven. You know that show she be doing. It'll pop up on my timeline, and I don't mind it, so I'll tune in. But anyway, she had, I guess, one of the guys from one of the Nickelodeon shows, or maybe the Nickelodeon show that they were talking about in particular. I really don't know, but they referenced that Quiet on the Set show. So I'm guessing what it has to do with what child abuse and bad behavior. I don't, like bad working hours, and just I don't know the full extent. But no, I have not seen it. What is it on Netflix? Where is it? You said if you do part time, just ask for 2 or 3 days out the week. But then the problem with that would be, what if those 2 or 3 days out the week fall on my day that I'm off at my full time job? Then it's like on the day where I'm off, now I still gotta work. See what I'm saying? It's complications. Now, if they could put their schedule to match the current schedule I have, to where I can them 3 days, I can leave the job and then, like, when I'm off, I want to be off on both the jobs. I don't want to do that thing where it's like, oh, I'm off, but I'm working my second job. No. So that might be asking for too much, because they're like, girl, we need you when we need you. So you said, it's such a cutthroat. Alhamdulillah, good. That's a that I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. You said, just popped in. I'm subscribed to the. You said I'm subscribed on my other channel. Okay, but I've been enjoying you watching, replaying. Alhamdulillah, good, good, good. I'm happy about that. You said I butchered that last message. I'm just. Oh no. Listen, you take your time and be safe. So I'm okay. If I pretty much was able to understand what you said, so it was okay. You said it shows you the distance and pay with tip before you accept the order. Still, I would only want to do places that probably wouldn't make me no money, like right around the neighborhood. Okay, so $5, $5, $5. But I guess it would add up, actually. Could add up. You said I like them all too, but I usually go for hybrids. Okay. What's it, a little mix of both? You said they have us try different strains and compare the terpenes. Am I saying that right? The terpenes? Because I know it's not terpene. I'm thinking terpenes. For some reason, that sounds better to me, but I could be wrong. Anyway, to better assist the patients, I was shocked by how much the terpenes the effect. That's cute. Turns out I'm a lemony bitch, and that is so funny. I don't even know what that means. That's probably like, is that a new weed term? Or is that like a strain of weed, lemon head? Like, what are we talking about? But you're teaching me something, because I don't even know what that. I've never heard of terpenes, and if I did, I didn't know I was hearing about it. You said you make sure you off on both jobs. Yeah, that I might can fudge. That I might can fudge. Then I'm thinking, do you want to fudge it? You said I was just talking to my cousin who quit her 9 to 5 some years ago, that she got to get something she either enjoys as a consumer, because you'll get discounts, right? Or that aligns with her business, right? Something that she can connect to motivate her to even want to be there. If you don't mind leaving one job, then to another job. You said, if you don't mind leaving one job, then to another job, it'll work out. Yeah, but you said terpene. Yeah, it's not that, right? That's why you laughing, because I knew it wasn't that. So I had it right the first time, terpene? Because I know it ain't terpene. I bet you it's a bitch out here in the world living with. Where's terpene? Tell her to bring her little ass, please. I told her. I will be here in 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I'm here. Tell terpene I'm outside, out front, waiting for her. Like, who wants to deal with that? You said working a job for strategic reasons, not because it's an end all be all. Working a job to fuel. Agreed. Agreed. And to give you some stability so that you can invest into, like you said, to fuel, fund, and invest into. You know what I'm saying? Yourself, your business, like whatever. Like, no, for sure. You said terpene. Or are you saying terpene again, but just split up? I don't know what I'm reading right now. You said terpenes are biosynthetic building blocks that are commonly found in plants. Cannabis terpenes determine the type of high you get when ingesting the plant. Lemony ones have an uplifting effect. Oh, that's what I want. The lemonies. I want the lemon head strain. You said even for a mini vacation, night out, whatever you enjoy. Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Penne pasta. Right. And then, of course, that will be the one I would say. Was that called peen pasta? No. Isn't it penne? You said and make you happy and synergizes with the other strains. Well, if you want a higher high. Yeah, I don't mind. I like it. Especially if it's having that effect. You said, oh, there's a botanist in the group. Okay. Yeah, because honey, I don't know what any of that is. I'm like, what? All I know is that it's weed. Sometimes I know if it's sativa, sometimes I know if it's indica, but I really don't know all the time. I just know that it's weed. And certainly it falls within the spectrum of indica, sativa hybrid, but what I know, girl, please. Hold on, let me see something. What is this? Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna bring this up. I have one more clip. We're not gonna watch the whole thing, but this is interesting because in the clips that we reviewed, for whatever reason, she came back on my timeline. I said she rode the wave, but I don't know who in this audience remembers, but years ago, when everybody was on her dick, I was like, she's annoying. In the beginning, that's how I felt about this person. I was like, she's actually annoying and kind of condescending. And I had a lot of different reasons. But when I was saying that, people weren't seeing, like they weren't saying that yet. They weren't seeing it that way. Now I'm watching her more recent stuff and I'm like, oh, she seems like she's more humble now. She seems like she's more like not what I remember, like being really, to me, arrogant, thinking she just knew everything. And it just came across that way. And that's another example for Monique, where she liked to use light skin. Why ain't you using this girl? Oh, it's because I'm big, chocolate, and a woman, and Taraji is light skin. Well, this girl is lighter than Taraji. And they are coming down on her head. I'm like, when did all this happen? And what's crazy is when I go into the comments to see what they saying, why they don't like her, they're saying all the shit that I was saying. I'm like, why is it that I be knowing stuff? But now I feel like she's okay. So I want to see what she got to say on this clip. You said, Q, do you find Terry Joe funny? Honestly, I don't know who Terry Joe is. Is that a comedian? I'm guessing they're a comedian since you said, do I find them funny? But no, I don't know who that person is, honestly. So we're going to pull this next clip up and see. I want to see. I don't know why people, when I was saying it, nobody was really on the wagon with it. But now, all these years later, now they're like saying the shit I was saying all the way back then. But to me, I felt like her energy was changed when I came into her recently and brought her on the show. I felt her energy seemed more down to earth and more humble. So but I guess I'm saying that I think is weird is now I feel like it would make more sense for them to like her now because she's more humble now. Then when I was saying it, when it made sense to read her and everybody was acting like I was crazy, I'm like, that's because y'all don't know how to read energy. And you can see this person is arrogant. She's trying to make it like she not, but she really is. And she's actually very annoying. But people didn't see it then. But now that she's more humble is when they want to come around saying she arrogant. I'm like, I mean, for the stuff that she did in the past that now they're addressing even clips that I have addressed, but it's irrelevant. The point is that was years ago when it was relevant and when people like me, which I'm sure there were others who felt the same way, but it was so far and few between. I'm like, she is so annoying because the way she comes across is like she be talking down to people and she knows what she be doing. That's how I took it. Because I'm like, she's smart and she know what she's doing, but then she's so smart, she's stupid because some of the stuff she's saying is just dumb. Really. And you think you're so smart, you can't be wrong about nothing. And that's the first mistake. But like I said, then I checked out. Then all them years later, she came back around. I'm like, let me see where she at now. And then I'm like, you know what? She have a different energy now. I felt different. So I'm wondering what is making people now say this about her or is it because of this that have made her in those more recent clips? Because maybe this drama had been going on with her before I came back into her. So maybe from dealing with this drama is what made her come across more humble. I don't know. We'll see what y'all think. Because for me, I'm looking at it like, because I was early to the ball game. I left early, and now I'm coming back around, and now everybody else is on the wagon. And I'm just wondering, has she been humble like this for a while, and y'all are tripping, or is it that she continued with this same energy that I was talking about, and I finally clocked her, and then I just didn't know about that. So now that she's back on my timeline, what I'm seeing is the more humble. Like, it's just different to me now. I feel like she's more likable now, but that could be as a result of what's going on. So let's see what she got to say. And then let's rewind. Let's see what she got to say. Because I had this one in the background. I heard bits and pieces, but I really wasn't focused in how I really wanted to. And we'll do it together. Maybe not the whole interview, but we'll do enough to see what we feel about it. But okay, let's get it queued up.
I would love to be loved by the people I love. I love Black people. So when I see the hatred that folks be having for me for no reason, like, it just really started to like eat at me. And then at a certain point I had to become unbothered just to enjoy the rest of my life.
Amanda, I'm going to start with the most controversial thing.
Did y'all know about this?
It wasn't actually what you said. It was the most controversial video you've ever posted on your Instagram page. Tell me you just did this to troll America. Tell me this is not really how you get down. You don't fuck with candy corn like
I do,
that,
and I knew.
Oh my God, why? Amanda, why?
It's delicious, okay? And I do honestly feel, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that you don't.
Me too. And what's also new to me is that Amanda Seales like candy corn. I don't know nobody who like candy corn. I don't even fuck with candy corn. Did anybody here fuck with candy corn? I think I came across one person in real life that told me they like candy corn. I was like, you really like that candy for real? I was like, I do. I'm like, I never liked it. How's it been in business this long? Like, even if 1,000 people liked it. It's not enough to keep them in business. Why Amanda always in something that deals with her being kicked out of events? I do remember that period. But see, that's what I'm saying. When she was on the Real, it was different things that she was doing that was, it made me look at her like, what is she doing? And then I even went onto her Instagram around that period and just was watching different things of her. And I'm like, at first I'm like, am I tripping? Or is something off with her energy, like how she talking to people and how she be like, you don't get it because you're just, sometimes the people are just too stupid. That is true. But it it was just how it came across from her, where it was like, I have the degree, I've been to this school, believe me, I'm smarter than you. I'm like, but actually then when you start talking, some of the stuff you're saying is stupid. And I would know that just from hearing you. I don't need you to tell me about a degree. Okay, that's incredible and that's an amazing accomplishment. Like, we'll clap it up. But as far as the point which you were making, really is stupid or not validated or whatever. She make a lot of good points, especially in the present. Like I'm saying, I'm really surprised by all of this because when I had the feeling about it all them years ago, nobody felt that way. Then I checked out because I'm like, I said all what I care to say about this. But the point is when she came back around, like I said, more recently for me, I'm like, wow, this Amanda I like. I don't know what, I'm like, she clearly looks like she has like mellowed out, like been through some things, and she's just like, she's still making good points. Or she is making good points because she made some points, but a lot of those points to me, and then that was the thing. When women and men, I would see, and really I saw it more from women, but really they were making validated points in my opinion. But her response would be so snarky and like, like argumentative over something where it's a discourse. And not only that, she's actually on trend for what the conversation is. You just don't like that she's contending with what you said, but that's fine. The point is this new thing I'm saying, I'm like, I like this. I can get behind. I like her energy. She's still like, she's strong still. I still sense that. And I like that. That was never the issue. But now it seems more wise, more level, more mellow, more humble, and it's still strong. Like it just has all the right ingredients. But then somehow something popped up about Amanda talking about why everybody hates her. And I'm like, oh, that's why it popped up. Because I guess this is more recent. Apparently, she did some type of video about not being invited to Black events, something to that effect. And well, anyway, Essence, what was it? The Root, another Black publication came through like, here's the reason why people don't fuck with Amanda Seales. It was just crazy to me because I'm like, what's making people say this now? Because when I was saying it, people weren't getting it. Now she seemed calm, cool. But again, I don't know if all this stuff that's been going on with her that I didn't know is a part of her change. But I do like her change because she was annoying to me also. Honestly. She really was. I'm like, girl, you are annoying. But so I want to hear what she got to say. You said, imagine eating candy corn like it's Skittles. Gross. I'll eat the yellow part, then throw. But so it tastes different as you get through colors? Because I know, what is it? Isn't it like white, orange, yellow, brown? So what that brown part tastes like Tootsie Roll. But you know what? I don't like Tootsie Roll either. I only like the Fruity Tooty kind. I don't like the chocolate one. I do not like that flavor. Love candy corn. Wait, what is this? You say candy corn Bratches only? Now, what is that? Is that a different type of candy corn? I never heard of that one. You said, I can eat half a piece. Girl, I can't eat none of it. It's nasty to me. I'll eat. Okay, we got to that. Okay, you said, right. You said probably like Peeps too. Now, wait, what is Peeps? Because no shade, I may like Peeps if it's what I'm thinking. Is Peeps that marshmallow that have like, not glitter, sprinkles on it? I can eat that. Oh, Bratch is the brand name? Yeah, I never heard of that. I never knew the candy corn brand. I guess they have to have somebody represent them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just called, oh, let me go and buy a candy corn called candy corn. Like, candy corn is the candy. The brand is different. Gotcha. You know what? I could eat a peep. I would take a peep any day over a candy corn, especially if it's just a marshmallow. But I probably want to eat it with a graham cracker and some milk. I don't know. But even if I had to eat it just plain, I would. Yeah, no, I can eat a peeps. Now, what I can't do is a snowball. Isn't that the one with coconut and marshmallow or whatever? I'm like, girl, gross. Very seldom can I do something with a coconut. There's like these shortbread cookies that have like coconut flavor to them. I can fuck with that a little bit when I'm in the right mood. With like just the hint of coconut flavor, but they don't have those little shreds. German chocolate cake, fuck out of here. Them cookies with the coconut on top and they have like the chocolate glaze going across. No, ma'am. Almond Joy, that's for me, it's gonna be a no. And that's the one with that thick white piece of coconut going down the bottom. It's a no for me. We're saying no. We're saying no to all cookies with cream filling and coconut mixed into it. I don't want to pull the cookie apart and there's shreds in my cookie. Hate chocolate and coconut. Yeah. Now I can do chocolate. I'm not the biggest fan of a chocolate bar, but if I'm hungry enough, I can do that. But I do like chocolate cake. Period. Now, except for that German chocolate cake. Now I'll do a double-decker chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those chocolates where it's like they got that rich chocolate frosting. You tell me you don't like even chocolate cake? You said chocolate and coconut together. Oh, okay. I was say because honey, chocolate cake, Miss Thankfully is I will order me a chocolate cake and a Swiftness. It's between chocolate cake and red velvet, but honey, I can go for a chocolate cake any day. Love me. Oh, circus peanut candies. What's a circus peanut candy? I don't remember that. A circus peanut candy, like Planters peanuts, girl. I don't know what is that. That's the candy I never heard of. Yeah, I remember. Oh, okay, now oatmeal cream pie, I love the classic where it's just the oatmeal part, the chewy oatmeal part at the top and bottom, and the cream filling in the middle. Now that girl, yes, ma'am. Star Crunch, I can take. Not my favorite, but I can take it. Nutty Buddy, I can take it. Certainly not my favorite, but I can take it. Star Crunch and Nutty Buddy will be the last snack eaten. But I'll take a donut stick any day. I'll take a zebra cake. Any one of those type of variations, like they have different kinds. But to me, they're all essentially zebra cakes. They just look different. Like I like the one with the strawberry. It's like a zebra cake, but it got strawberry and sprinkles. It'd be looking real cute and love it. Okay, I'll take. You know what I'll also take? I'll take those animal crackers from when we were kids, but the ones that have they're pink and white with frosting and have sprinkles over top. I'll take those also. Yes, I'll have that also. Can I get? Let's see. Let's see here, folks. You know what? Can I get a cheesecake as well? I'll take a cheesecake also. You know, all this cake. What about the ice cream? I'm not really fancy with the ice cream. Honestly, I really typically just stick to like a creamy vanilla because to me, a creamy vanilla with my chocolate cake is slaps. Now, hold on. I also would like on my list apple pie. One time I was picking somebody groceries and you know what? They had a cherry pie. I've seen that in the movies and like cartoons, like, oh, it's a cherry pie. But I've never actually noticed a cherry pie in real life. When I saw the cherry, I don't fuck with cherries like that, in all honesty. But when I saw the cherry pie, I thought, I don't think I would like this, but it looks pretty. Because to me, apples are better than cherries. Like in a pie, in general, and in a pie. But in my opinion, but like, here's my thinking with that cherry pie. It was that thick ass. I'm like, you must really like cherries if you want to take a slice of pie that have this thin crust, this thin top, and then all these fucking cherries in your mouth. Like, and are they like grapes that blow up? Because they're little balls. With the apples, they don't explode. And they have a nice texture. Like, really, no matter what. Like, sometimes I don't like it when they overdo it with the syrup. You know what I'm talking about? Where it be like syrup. I like it when it's just the right amount of glaze. And I also don't mind it when the apples are done, but where they have a slight crisp to them. Like when you get the crust and the apples are soft, but there gets to a point where you can kind of feel the texture of the crunch along with the crust. Bitch, please, with some vanilla ice cream. Ho, what you really saying? That to me, so let me get an apple pie. Let me get my creamy vanilla ice cream. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I love sprinkles. I love the kind that they have different kinds, but the kind that I like the best, because no lie, I'll order because I order it very seldom, but when I do order it, I order the big one where you can peel the lid off. But look, sometimes even when I'm not eating ice cream, I'll just go in there and just eat some of those sprinkles just out of the container. Because even on their own, I like the flavor. But the thing I don't like about that is when you start eating the sprinkles, then you eat a whole bunch of them. Because you're like, oh, that is good. Bitch, then I end up eating like 10 big spoonfuls of sprinkles by itself. Like, why did I do that? So let me get some sprinkles, but the kind that I like where it's like they're kind of skinny and long and they come in a bunch of different colors mixed in. What else do I want? Are we only doing desserts? You said with custard? Custard. What is the difference between custard? Because I've had custard before and I remember thinking something about it, like it was super thick, I think. Is that what I remembered about custard? That it was very thick? Girl, I can't believe this. We were supposed to get into this thing with Amanda Seales. Okay, let's see what this is about, and then we're gonna wrap up the show because I want to enjoy the rest of my day off, but I did want to spend time with y'all and just kick it and talk and just do what we do. Then I gotta wash some dishes, do some laundry, and prepare, inshallah, tomorrow for work. Because we gotta the plan, inshallah, we're gonna get what we're trying to get. But that will only happen if I show up to the plan that God is laying out so that I can deliver these things and get some things done. The plan will happen though. It's just like the girl was saying, it's patience, really. Yeah. You said custard is eggs and sugar and milk. Okay, but hold on. What is ice cream then? What's the difference? Ice cream don't got no eggs is what it is. That's what's missing in ice cream, right? No egg. Whereas with custard, there's an egg in there. Is that true? I don't know. I just made that up to see what's the difference because I know there is a difference. Because when I had custard, it was actually good, but I just remember thinking it's really thick. Okay, let's get back to this Amanda Seales situation.
Don't, because I've honestly come to understand that it separates the wheat from the rest. First of all, it's pure sugar plus honey. So there's a certain level of like just appreciation for the saccharin that you have to have for someone to actually love candy corn. But y'all haters who be saying like it's like sweetened candles. Everybody love candles. I don't even know why we acting like we don't like candles. We love candles.
Yeah.
How do y'all know how candles taste? Are y'all eating candles? I don't know how candles taste.
That was a trick question.
I don't know how candles taste. I know how candy corns taste.
Okay, but I don't. But guess what? I don't know what ants taste like. But when I tasted blue cheese, I thought this is what an ant would taste like. How do I know? Because when I was a kid, I've killed ants before, and when you kill them, they have a distinct smell. The way to me blue cheese tastes is that identical smell to that ant I remember. I kid you not. I swear to God, I remember when I first tasted blue cheese, I remember thinking, this tastes it triggered that smell right away in my mind. Like I'm like, this taste smells like a dead ant. Or it tastes to me what that dead ant smell smells like. They have a very distinctive smell. And that to me is blue cheese. I never ate an ant though. But I can imagine through the smell of it. And I think candy corn probably have that candle smell that makes you think this, whatever this gonna taste like. Although I never said it tastes like a candle. And I do remember tasting a candy corn as a kid and I did not like it. But when someone compares it to a candle, somehow I feel like I understand why they said that. Still, I never ate a candle.
It does taste like sugary wax, though. I mean, it just kind of does.
But it really doesn't. I don't know what candy corns y'all are eating. And I must also say that not all brands are created equal.
Okay.
Okay. A Brax candy corn is different from a Farley's.
Oh my God. Someone just mentioned Brax. Someone said that. Marvel said, honey, I love blue cheese. You know, if kids don't like it, then it's bad. What, do kids not like blue cheese? I thought blue cheese was popular. I just don't fuck with it.
It's just what it is. And anyone who's watching right now and listen and loves candy corns, they know. And so but you know what? There have always been those of us who are outside the lines, Jamel.
You did say that.
There are always those of us who walk the path less trodden, and we do so for the rest of y'all. And we're happy to do so. So you want to come at me? It's nothing I haven't taken before.
I think candy corn
this is true. You do
needs
have
a rebrand. They need to first stop calling them candy corn. I think even that corn in there is bad for business. Like, call it something different and then maybe change the shape. But then people are gonna say no, because that defeats the purpose. They're supposed to be called candy corn and they're supposed to look like cones. But what if you change them into like a bag and they all had one color? Like, let's say they were circular or even heart shaped or star shaped, would make a difference. But one was white, one was orange, one was yellow, one was brown. And when you get a handful, you have it just need to look different and be shaped different. And also, this taste, I guess just make a whole new candy. Change the taste, the shape, the look, the sound. Just make a new candy, bitch.
A particular knack for being able to, like Jon Snow, carry the sword in the middle of the battlefield and just chop away. Anybody who has the bravery to,
to wear an AKA sweater as a character. Continue.
We're going to get in there in a minute.
Continue.
We're going to get in there in a minute. But listen, everybody who follows you knows you, whether they like you or not.
What's
they know
poppin',
the one thing they
Eugene?
can count on is that you will tell your truth, tell a lot of truth. And generally you speak from a position of authenticity, genuineness, all those things. So I'm going to ask you a question I ask every guest that appears on the podcast. When did you become unbothered?
I think after I had my miscarriage, which is very recent. I mean, that was a year. Because then you're just like, man, fuck y'all, man. Like, now I've gone through like actual life things and this is just dumb. Like, and I think there was like a series of events that happened between 2019 to 2020 that really just like forced me to become unbothered. And I've been bothered that long, like up until that point. Like, I'm not somebody who was like, I don't care about y'all. I definitely care. And I care because I would love to be loved by the people I love. I love Black people. Like, I love being a part of this community diasporically as an American, etc. And I say that specifically because I don't care if like racist white people don't like me. Like, I genuinely, I'm like, why would you? But it really did like used to like get under my my skin, like in a very real way, when folks that I would If I saw them getting in trouble if I saw them getting pulled over, I would have like I would have put myself in the situation. Like I am that person. So when I see the hatred that folks be having for me for no reason, like it just really started to like eat at me. And then at a certain point I had to become unbothered just to enjoy the rest of my life.
I listened to that podcast, as I do many episodes of Small Doses, where you talked about your pregnancy loss during Pregnancy Loss Awareness Month. I was unaware this was something that was, a month either, in a special designated month. You said on the podcast that it was some things, and you just mentioned it, that happened in 2019 that were wearing on you, and that you thought for a moment about walking away from acting or the industry. Maybe that's a better way to put it. What was it that happened that made you want to do that?
I mean, being kicked out of an Emmy party for no fucking reason. I mean, that was one of the things that was kind of like a pinnacle point where it was just like, if this is what it's about to be in the mix of this, I don't want to be in the mix of this. Like, this is corny. And I know for some people who are listening, they're like, a party was going to make you leave. But it was like, it was a final straw. And if you're in this town, it's a very small town. Black Hollywood is a very small enclave of people. And so, it was like a moment in time where I just realized like what I had imagined I was walking into is actually the opposite. And that was a very jarring thing for me to kind of really grasp. And then there was betrayals that took place like over the course of that year, like in terms of like acquaintances and business and, in business, with agents and managers. And I felt like I was ill-equipped to manage I think chicanery is the word. I'll find it better. The fuckery. I felt like I was
that's direct.
I felt like I was ill-equipped to manage the fuckery. And I felt like when I was doing music, I reached a point where I was like, oh, this business of music is making you dislike music. And I went through the same thing when I worked at the Gap. It was like being a greeter is making you hate the Gap. And it was like, it's time to quit the Gap because you love the Gap. And that's where I was my freshman year of college. And then the same thing happened with music where it was like, dang, like I got to leave music because it's making like the business is making me hate this thing that I love. And so then I faced that crossroads again, this time with TV and film. But instead of walking away, in my newfound unbotheredness, I found I think I found like a second wind, like a new strength to say, nah, like those are the things, those were surface and you love them, but this is purpose. This, like, I feel very strongly that my work in the creative space has way more purpose to it than just like getting money or fame. And I feel that not just because of like in my bones, but because people tell me, and when people come up to you and tell you that, something you created like has affected their life in a positive way and made them see themselves in a way that others may have tricked them into seeing themselves, it really does make you say like, okay, I have to think beyond just myself.
Also on that same podcast, you said that when you lost the baby, you talked about the gratitude you experienced, not obviously for losing the baby, but just, it seemed like you were saying for the experience overall. What exactly were you grateful about? I love it.
The dog is like, tell her. I just feel like I had gotten caught up in the superfluous. Like, I really feel like I had got swayed by by the peanut gallery of it all. And it's very easy to do. And so on one hand, it was an experience that I needed to have to remind me of just how valuable my life is. And don't you make me cry, Jamel.
I'm just asking you a question. That's all.
Hold on. I was about to get a cancer emotional. Okay. Just how valuable my life is. And as a woman, I don't know how to even say, like, it's like, I don't know that I have the words yet to even properly verbalize, but just in my experience in this woman body, it was perspective changing. It just made me feel more grown. I pardon if I sound real basic right now, because I'm thinking in real time, because it's existed more as a feeling than as something I've articulated yet. But it just something came over me of just like you needed that. And maybe I don't even know why I needed it yet, because I haven't experienced yet what I needed that for. I ain't dead yet. But I just something, there was like a communicate, maybe it was a communication from the ancestors, but something just came through me that did not feel like despair. It felt like gratitude. And I didn't expect that. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I mean, I think what was very remarkable about that podcast is that you took everybody listening through a step-by-step journey of how you felt emotionally from the time you found out all the way up until when you unfortunately lost the baby. It's very candid. What made you decide to share the story at all?
I mean, I said this in the podcast. I've been told so many times that me being transparent has like helped someone like not feel alone. And it's to a point where it feels like my transparency is a part of my philanthropy. Like that is a thing that has a service. It's like a service to folks. And I'm not sure. I don't even think it's necessarily about like celebrity or anything. I just think that there's just so much that we keep to ourselves because of shame. And when someone speaks about it without that shame, it like just opens the door even a little bit for someone else to be able to take that same walk without shame. And we just live in a society that finds so many different ways to shame folks about just all types of things. And then we create that shame for ourselves. And it becomes our own prison. And so I wanted to do that episode also because I really do know what it feels like to think like I'm less of a woman now. Like I'm not as effective in the world because I couldn't like reproduce properly. And I'm not as, maybe I'm not supposed to be this thing. And it's a mind fuck, and when you're going through that by yourself, it can be really, it can take you down a very treacherous road. And so I wanted to share that because I also think a lot of people don't talk to other people about what they're going through. So if they're not going to talk to other people, at least they can hear somebody else talking. And I be talking.
Yes. Which I think is a gift. I mean, I do. Like, it's not a lot of people who, and that podcast itself was like 50 minutes. And you took us through like a real story, like a journey with you. And so there's not a lot of people who could have pulled it off, in the way that you did. What was the response that you got after that?
A multitude of folks being like, thank you. Like, I feel seen. I went through the same thing. People didn't understand. It's so refreshing to be affirmed. There were a number of folks who were like, I wasn't ready to listen to it. Like, I'm still getting DMs from people being like, I'm just now listening to it because I needed to like get myself, in a place to be able to receive it and to listen to it. And I'm thankful. And there's always one.
Yeah.
I definitely had someone say it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I
can't.
I was like, if one didn't show up, I would be concerned. So,
wow.
But and listen, maybe some would say selfishly, like it helped me. It helped me, to be able to like say it out loud. I don't really like keeping things to myself. It doesn't make me feel like I'm more in control. It makes me feel weighted down and heavy. And I was like, oh, like I have my own platform and I should share this story on my own platform, versus like on the Breakfast Club or somewhere else. And when I knew that I wanted to share this story for all the reasons that I've said. And then when I learned that it was Pregnancy Awareness Month, and it was literally the same month that I had experienced this, it was like, well, this is serendipitous.
How did it impact your mentality or towards having children?
I think this is
I'm not having kids. Yeah, I'm good. I was already on the fence. Okay.
Right.
I was already on the fence. And then it was just like, oh, well, okay, well, we tried. And I talk about this in the podcast. I don't know how y'all out there go through pregnancy, because 10 weeks of it, and I was like, this is difficult. And I just think I don't have the personality. Like I'm such a perfectionist, and like the acute. I mean, some people are like they're pregnant and they're eating hot Cheetos all day. Like, but I just felt like I need to be like, what can I eat? What can I not eat? Like, how do I need to eat? Like there was just I could feel the anxiety working itself up, and I'm just like, I just think about, and I remember saying to myself, you got to get this in check, because 9 months is a long time. It's a long time, but I know that I would be a good parent, and people love to say that, like, but you would be an excellent mother. And it's like, no one, the decision to not have children is not whether or not you'd be good at it. It's more so just a matter of like, do I feel like, well, first of all, I don't like this world. So I don't even think like I am built in a way where I could bring a child into this world and not be overbearing and just so overprotective, to the point where the child escapes from the home. I mean, like,
I get it. I'm going to say she rode the wave. People are kind of, to me, this new version of her, like where she is in life right now, I'm okay with. But I'm going to say she rode the wave. And I also understood what she was saying about the world we live in. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. That's true. Listen, I want to thank everybody for kicking it with me today, for spending time with me. I had such a great time. I got some little household chores I got to get to. And I want to make sure I finish my laundry today, so that way I'll have my work clothes all situated, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I love you guys, and I want to do more of this. And as I get more, because things are leveling out, but as they really level out, I'll be able to really, inshallah, my hope is, and I get totally comfortable, my car's running, like I'll just feel different. I'll be ready to create, because I have things that I'm like, okay, don't forget this, because there's just different things I want to bring to this new project and whatever else I do beyond, But listen, I love you guys. Be well, take care. Thank you for kicking with me, and God willing, I'll catch you on to Flip. Mwah. Bye, family. I love you.